Yeah.
Hey, Hog Twins here. Check out our friend Matthew Spirit at his podcast at The Dumb Show and his website, don'tunfriendme.com.
Yeah. Good evening. Welcome to the Don't Unfriend Me show. We are back, thank God, tonight. My name is Matthew Spear. I am the host of Don't Unfriend Me. We have quite a few people on already, so it's good to see you. Thank you for stopping by. To my right is Olivia Spear. Olivia. It's hard to believe that little girl in the picture at the end is all grown up, but she is. You may hear another voice tonight, and it may sound something like,
Hi.
What the hell is that?
Satan?
Yeah, I'm Satan.
Is this Susie, my Time Life operator? Who is this?
This is Hayden Spear, your daughter.
Holy crap. Are we getting, hold on a second. Say it again.
This is Hayden Spear, your daughter.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
So I don't think we're getting an echo. I got to make sure. This was all, we did this 2 minutes before. We're like, you want to come on? So we got to get her a new pod mic because, folks, I really don't want to explain this to you, but I guess I'll have to. Cardioid pattern is more of a heart shape that essentially encompasses the front of your mouth. And then there's mics that essentially pick up anything in a circular pattern. So it could be picking up my voice right now, and it looks like it is slightly, but Olivia's is picking me up even more. And that makes sense considering I'm projecting beautiful thoughts to my wonderful wife. We've been sick, so
really sick.
Weekend and
it's been horrible.
I was sick Sunday and Monday. I'm almost sick Monday.
Sunday through today.
Sunday through today, and then Dad was sick Tuesday through today.
Yeah. So needless to say, so you'll hear two other voices outside of mine. You'll hear Hayden's obviously, and you'll hear Olivia.
Where's Amy and Leroy?
Amy and Leroy are off tonight.
Oh.
So that's why we accepted you on, because we had to get any talent we could possibly find. So you're it. Matthew Spear, the host of Don't Unfriend Me. Sorry, I went to a baseball game. I'm still a little wet.
It rained.
It rained, and then I told him, I said, guys, the weather says that this thing is going to rain out. And they're like, oh no, it'll be fine. Well,
It'll totally be fine.
He was all bummed. He was set to pitch in the third inning.
yeah, that would have been nice to have him do that. But it is what it is. Everyone will survive. Sorry, I'm setting up my camera.
Colleen, we had a flu.
Yeah, it wasn't good.
It was a bad flu.
It was a really bad flu.
I mean, it was nasty.
Did we just...
All three of us in sync? Yeah.
Yeah.
We all did it at the same time.
Yeah.
That's fine. Let me see if I can fix this, then we can get started.
Fix.
Oh, there we go.
it.
Well, I've got my camera changer on here, and I'm seeing if I can switch it all. Also, what I'm trying to do is get you a camera.
Oh, I have a camera?
No. We're gonna try to get you
Oh.
get you a camera. Like, get you.
Wait.
She's like, wait a second.
She's
need
like,
to
I don't
look
have
pretty.
makeup on.
I don't have. I did a face mask with Savannah, and it just.
Okay, so you don't want to be on camera
No,
tonight.
it's fine. I can be on camera.
No, you're not gonna be on camera.
She's a lot more brave than me.
We want to do. We want to
I'm
do.
also like 30 years younger than you.
We want.
suck.
Oh
I'm
Lord.
not old.
Oh God,
old.
vicious in this family. Jeez, you guys. Let's try to get along on the show. All right.
Oh, the cat's here too.
By the way, the cat's here too. So you
Yeah,
might
the
you
cat's
might
here.
you might hear the cat. So
might
anyway,
hear him
we're,
now.
we're feeling much better. Thanks everyone for doing this. It's only 8:30 at night and we're not too late. So it's good to have everybody on. Leroy and Amy are on sabbatical. They're on vacation. So we're gonna have a good time. Hayden gives an interesting perspective to these things. So
Yeah.
I'm listen, when someone gives you a compliment, you don't go, yeah.
I
It's like, geez,
know
man.
when they
Well,
compliment.
get this, get this shit. So one of her friends who just left here said that I look like somebody from a TV show that she watches. What was it, Hayden?
Like Dr. Mick something.
You got to go closer to the mic.
Oh, sorry. Like Dr. Mick something. I
You
don't
said
know.
McDreamy.
Yeah, that one.
Are you sure it wasn't McSteamy?
You look more like McSteamy to me.
I think I
I
look
don't
like
know.
McSteamy.
I
I'm-
haven't watched this show. I didn't even know what show it was.
Yeah, I know. But when anyone says your dad looks like Dr. Madreamy, I mean, you got to be. I mean, listen, I know it's
They're both
repulsive.
good-looking
I
men.
don't know who Dr. McDreamy is.
All right, well, I'm going to show you. So we got to get an older picture of him because this isn't fair. I mean, he doesn't. Yeah, that's much.
Well, she's going to know him from Grey's Anatomy. So, I mean,
Oh,
you've
I
gotta
know him
show-
from another show. I don't know him from Grey's
You know him
Anatomy.
from Enchanted.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I know him from.
So
like-
here's McDreamy, right? Oh, son of a gun. Hold on. There's McDreamy. I don't think I look like that guy at all. First of all, Dempsey, I've followed Dempsey throughout his career. I loved him in pretty much every show he's ever done. He did some really good kind of rom-coms when he was younger. I thought he was fantastic, but he was a dork. He's a complete dork.
Yeah,
and
the
then,
one with the pizza place. Where he's
yeah.
this
Where
older
he
guy.
was a male gigolo. I can't remember the name, but anyway, that's McDreamy. And then McSteamy, like if you're going to say I look like anybody, I think I look like, and I liked Mark anyway much more. I always thought
Who's
McDreamy.
Mark?
Well, that's McSteamy.
McSteamy.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
Wait,
follow along here, Hayden McKenna.
I haven't watched the show. You
I know.
guys don't let me
well,
watch the show.
Well, I won't let you watch the show. But there's McSteamy. Oh, son of a gun. So there's McSteamy. And I think that's who she's talking. I think the girl's confused.
I
I think she
think you
saw
look-
me and she was starstruck. She's like, "Oh my god, this guy
No.
looks." Like...
No, you're thinking of the wrong friend. Starts with an S, but wrong friend.
Listen, can I explain something to you just so you understand this? If Savannah, and so I hope she's watching. If
She
Savannah,
probably is. I told her to
good.
watch.
So if Savannah said I look like McDreamy or McSteamy, she feels the same way about your other friend. She thinks I'm a good-looking guy. I'm just letting you know. I'm just.
I warned you. I warned you that some of your friends would think your dad is cute.
Yeah, you
cute.
look more like McDreamy.
I-
You don't look like McSteamy.
I don't look like
He's
this guy
blonde.
over here.
He's blonde.
He's not
he's
blonde.
actually
He's dark.
salt and
No, he's
pepper.
not. He's gray and dark brown hair. Yeah.
You look like McDreamy.
Well, that's a compliment. I don't care.
Either one's good. I'm cool with either.
Living is about. I don't see either, but that's okay. Yeah,
don't see Sandra Bullock.
Ashley just says, Hayden, your friends think your dad is hot.
No, wrong friend.
I'm
Wrong-
telling, dude. It was,
SA, but not
all right.
Savannah.
Okay, so let's get to some of the comments because I'm just letting you know. If anyone compares you to somebody, that's like some guy saying, "Oh, geez, your mom, Olivia's mom looks like, or Olivia looks like Cindy Crawford, or
She looks like Gal
She looks
Gadot.
like Gal Gadot.
She
or
does.
She
Really?
does. She does look
She
like.
does
She
look
does.
like Gal
You
Gadot.
do.
I like that.
Trust me, I like
Here,
that
pull
too.
up a picture of Gal Gadot now. because
Everyone knows every
I think
every
it's good dough. If I'm
For
not
for the
mistaken.
weirdos who haven't watched Wonder Woman, you're weird.
What? She has that. Olivia looks like Sandra Bullock. I mean, that's
Oh yeah.
that's truly. But trust me, yes. Just the words yes.
Yes.
And there is no holy schmikeys. You know, I'm 50, so it's getting to the point where it's getting a little weird. So I can't do that anymore.
Whoa. Holy cow.
Well, I just was, was just
You're
giving
not 50.
I'm close enough.
You're a year away from that.
It doesn't matter. It's still close enough. Look, you've been saying you're 13 for like 6 years. Who the hell are you to talk?
No, I've been saying I've been a preteen since I was 10 because I have been.
10 years old is not preteen.
I will be 13.
Please tell me what comes after the number 10.
11.
Does that have teen in it?
Yes.
No, great. Please
11 teen, 11 teen,
yeah.
12
Can
teen,
you tell me about
13.
12 teen?
Yeah.
Okay, 12 teen. You're not a preteen until you're 12. I'm just letting you know.
Well, then I am a preteen. And in 16 days, I'll be a teenager.
That's accurate now, but it wasn't accurate 3 years ago when you were 9.
Oh. No.
You would say it when you were 9 too, Hayden. Mom, can I get some?
No, I would say it when I was 10. Am I
The
10?
day she turned 10. I'm a teenager now.
Yeah, but that was
No.
9.
No, I'm a
The day she turned 10 was
preteen.
she was still 9.
The day I turned 10, I was still 9.
When was she born? I remember what time you were born. What time were you born?
9:28 a.m.
That's right. We
No,
had a late
23.
part, our early party.
No, 9:28 a.m. Were you there? Well, you were, but you
Yeah.
don't remember.
Yeah, I was the baby.
Okay.
You don't remember the 24 hours of excruciating
Do you remember when we
labor.
started the show before we said we're not going to do this tonight? This is the Dumb Show at the Dumb Show. Hello.
Coming.
Okay.
It's coming.
At the Dumb Show, you can find us. You can also find us at thedumbshow.com. We've got some cool stuff going on over there. You should head on over. We just added a cool new hat. Hayden won't like it.
Oh,
Hey-
I won't?
Have you seen the new hat?
No. You usually show me your stuff.
Well, you know what the Make America Great Again hat is, right?
No.
I'm serious.
Yes,
I'm serious.
I know what it is. I know what it is.
Okay, you can be on the show. There's just no reason to be a smart aleck, okay? If you know what it is, you know what it is.
Yeah,
if you
I
don't,
know
you
what
don't.
it
Are you sure you know? Because, I don't want to get yelled at again.
Yes, MAGA and Make America Great Again.
Okay, well,
All that stuff.
That's pretty accurate. I'm trying to find it, but of course,
Of course, it's not there.
hold on a second. This is weird. Why isn't this on here? Did I not put the? Don't blow into the mic, Hayden.
Oh, sorry.
That's gonna make that thing pop. Hold on a second now. Oh, yeah, it's not in search. Oh, that's weird. So weird. Well, okay. So I got to go fix that. No wonder why nobody could find it when they were looking for it. Here's the hat itself. Just 1 second. I got to download this. And Hayden, you can tell me. So it's pretty simple. It's not too difficult. The save image. Come on. Getting it is a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. Here it is. So this is the new hat. It's doing very well. Make women female again.
That's a big hat.
Yeah, it is a big hat. It's a big hat. See, I can even put it.
Put it on. Put the hat on.
I'm going to try.
Oh, amazing. The
Make
hat's on.
make women female again, folks. You can buy one and look just like me if you want to. I'm going to rock this thing out. Damn Skippy I am. Why not? You can go buy
Absolutely.
it. What do you think, Hayden? You like it?
Yeah.
Pretty simple, right?
Yeah.
Nothing too complicated. All right, folks, let's get to the show. We've got a lot to do. You can call in tonight. Here's the Skype phone number. If you don't have it, Olivia will put that up right now for us. You want to call in? Number's 804-504-1955. Operators are standing by, and they are available to...
Yep, we're right here.
The Time Life operator.
Yeah,
Right here.
Susie, your time life operator. So if you have a question, you have a comment, you want to just call in and say hi to Hayden because you've
Hi.
pretty much watched her grow up over the last 2 years from her
It's been
preteen
2
years.
Yeah, my preteen.
It's almost
I
been
was a
it's
preteen.
almost been 3.
Yeah, it's been
Yeah,
2.5
it's almost.
years.
I was like, didn't this start in 2020?
Yep.
It's 2023.
Right before the election.
Yeah, it was almost 3 years now. So we're doing okay. We're growing. Podcast is doing unbelievably well. I think we're sitting at like
Sorry.
1,700 daily listeners. And I think we just eclipsed 175,000 downloads on the podcast. So the podcast is actually being listened to at a pretty high clip. I mean, I think it broke top 10% in Spotify last year. I think it's going to break top 5% this year. That's what the numbers are telling me. We've had huge growth on the podcast. It's doing very well on Apple Podcasts too. And then, of course, it's doing great on Facebook. And then Twitter is slowly growing. YouTube still sucks because
It's YouTube.
they hate me. So, and they have a reason to. I completely understand. All right. So, Hayden, you had something to say. What do you want to say quick?
Oh, I forgot.
Good.
Yeah.
So that
Wait,
makes
what?
that's
Good.
that's fantastic.
What?
That's fantastic. Nothing. I love having you here. All right. So let's get into it. First things first. This one's kind of interesting. There's a lot to talk about here. And I don't like the politicization that's going on. It's really bothering me, to be honest with you, when it comes to this, because I don't think it's a good thing to objectify Marines to this conversation. Now, I'll explain. In this video, obviously, if you have not heard, there was in the New York City subway, there was a gentleman who was a Michael Jackson impersonator, and that's the way they're selling it, right? Like this guy was just, all he did was go on the subway and sing Billie Jean, was not my lover, you know, he. And that's all.
That's pretty good.
That's all. Thank you. That's all he did. And yeah, but they don't talk about the 43 freaking criminal charges that have been brought up against this guy. He was a vagrant, and that's just the truth. And he had criminal charges, and he had mental illness, and he would walk around in his Michael Jackson get up and use that to make money. And I think all of that is absolutely fine. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think it is, it's good for him to do that, but it reminds me of the shootings of Trayvon Martin and Michael Brown in a lot of ways, because the way he looked on the subway was certainly not anything close to the pictures that they had of him dressing like Michael Jackson. So when you look at all the leftist stations and the leftist media, they're going to go ahead and show him in this looking like Michael Jackson, you know, and all of that stuff. And honestly, they do that for sympathy and empathy. But in all honesty, he was in dregs. He was a vagrant. He's homeless. He looks like he hasn't bathed, and all of that's fine and doesn't mean that he should die in no way, shape, or form, because that's an unfortunate thing, and it sucks. But there's a couple things here that happened. Is you're portraying one as a murderer, and you're portraying the other as an upstanding citizen who was just murdered because this guy wanted to kill him on the subway. And that's not what happened.
I don't even know what happened.
Well, that's why we're going to talk about it.
Okay.
That's what we're doing. I'm prefacing everything so you both know.
Got it.
Hayden, what's the problem?
My headphones are tangled.
Okay. So you can't hear what's going on in the show if you don't put your headphones in. You know that. And then when we start asking questions, you're going to say, I don't know what's going on. So are you done? Yeah. Great. So the photos are sensitive in this because I don't want to recreate and show what happened. In fact, everything's blacked out, and I chose a specific clip so we wouldn't have to. But there's a couple things you need to understand. First of all, this guy is not a former Marine. And anybody that calls him a former Marine is an immediate sanctimonious dick. Pardon my French. There's no such thing as a former Marine. My father passed away. He's still a Marine. Marines are always Marines. They don't retire. They don't change their names. Now, you can listen and talk about Navy SEALs. You can be a former SEAL, be former Army medic. You can be formal naval intelligence, and that's fine, but you're never a former Marine. It's an initiation. It's a process, and no Marine would ever call themselves a former Marine. So first of all, stop it. Second of all, you didn't need to put Marine in the title, because I'll tell you right now, the hand-to-hand combat that Marines have went through, I've went through. And we're going to talk about the Navy in a minute, and that's a whole nother conversation, and my God, am I embarrassed. But there is absolutely no training in the Marine Corps that is demonstrated, unless you're in Special Forces, Recon, MARSOC, whatever, where you learn how to restrain somebody and how to use defensive tactics to shut them down. It's not taught. Hand-to-hand combat is taught for about 3 days in the Marine Corps, and it's never to the extent that you really would imagine that somebody would be prolific. Most MMA fighters would not find a person coming out of boot camp in the Marine Corps to be a challenge in anything less than a 30-second fight. Now, the more you expand into Special Forces and things like that, the more effective you become. Now, I'm going to use Hayden as a demonstration here.
Hi.
And I'm going to show you how to do a rear naked chokehold.
Okay.
And so there's a couple ways to do it. But the first thing I want you to see is that the way that this Marine is applying this chokehold is essentially, it's going to kill him. And the time that he was under this chokehold ranges. Some people say it was 15 minutes. Some people say it was 3 minutes. And I can either confirm or deny how long he was on there. And honestly, it doesn't matter because I could choke out my daughter in about 3 to 7 seconds, depending upon how quickly I want to do it. And she would black out. That's how long it takes. And if you want to subdue somebody quickly, this isn't the way you do it. This is the way you kill somebody. And there's a few reasons why. When he is choking him, he doesn't have the proper leverage on him and he's hitting his trach. So he's not able to breathe. And that's not what it's designed to do. It actually does not obstruct the airway in any way, shape, or form. It applies pressure on the carotid arteries, which are the arteries going along the neck. And when those arteries have enough pressure upon them, there's no blood flow to the brain, which means no oxygen, and you go into a state of comatose sleep, and it knocks you out. Now, it's really a simple process. It doesn't take a lot, but the first thing is that he is holding his wrist. And the bicep is not engaged in this. And ultimately, the squeezing of the forearm and the bicep creates a choke point that does not necessarily hit the trach, but hits the carotid artery. And you don't squeeze. See, you don't do this. That's the worst thing. All you do is come back and rear back. And you'll have to apply no squeezing pressure, and that's just a waste of energy to do so. But the key is to put your hand when you come over, is to put it on the bicep and latch on to your bicep, and then use your other hand to cup behind the head, not on top, because that doesn't do any good. Because when this person comes back to kick your teeth in with his head, you want to put your hand here to be able to push that person and hold them back so they don't. And really, it's not going to stop the choke from being effective. It's just to keep your teeth and to not smash your nose, which could startle you enough to get out of this chokehold. Otherwise, this chokehold is fairly impossible to get out of. Once you're in it and once it's applied properly, you're out in 3 seconds, and I don't care who you are. And if you've ever seen it applied in the UFC or any MMA fight, those people tap out extremely quick or they go night-night, okay? So the reason why I want to demonstrate this is not how to hurt you, and I'm not going to do it on you, Hayden, because I don't want. I was kidding, but the key is, like I said, head goes into the crook of the arm, and when you come in, you're not going to do what he did. And if you watch him apply it, he comes around and brings his arm here, which makes it easy for someone to get an arm and stop you and brace out of the position. You essentially take the hand from the other side like I am and keep your thumb in, and you want to keep your hand symmetrical with each other, and you want to run along quickly. And so they have no chance to get their hands underneath yours. The way this was handled, he's had absolutely no training in defensive takedowns ever. None, zero, zilch, none. And I can tell you that, one, because I watched it take place, and the second is how he's holding him right now will kill somebody. So when you're going to do a rear naked choke, it's all about cutting off the blood flow. So that's number one. Number two is we have to ask the question, why did he put him in this position to begin? I seriously doubt because he was doing a horrible rendition of Thriller. That's not what happened. So let's go ahead and find out what it was and watch this video, and we will go from there. We might have an ad that pops up. Now, Fox News is usually pretty good about this. Nope, they're pretty bad about this. So I don't care about Instagram. So we're going to hold that off, and then we're going to watch this. Now, everyone can get into this and watch this. Oh, blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. If you guys want to go to Instagram, you can at Instagram.com. Okay. Do you remember when I said Facebook was good at that, or Fox News was? I lied.
Yep.
Come on.
Meanwhile, Manhattan DA Alvin Bragg, one of the worst in the country.
All right. Everyone could hear that?
Yes.
Yes, I can hear it.
I got to make sure my audio is on.
Savannah's watching. I'm pretty sure I can ask her if she can hear it.
Well, everyone will tell us. I just got to check the sound to make sure it's on. For some reason, my audio windows shut down. There it is.
Yeah, everyone's saying they can hear it.
Is investigating the death of a homeless man who was placed in a chokehold by a Marine on a subway train earlier this week.
His death was ruled a homicide yesterday, prompting protests from those who want the veteran to face murder charges.
Todd Pyro joins us live with details. And Todd, there's a big difference between homicide and murder.
Yeah, homicide is really just the generic phrase for a killing. Murder is a very specific charge that has specific elements that need to be met. So we await what's going to happen come out of the New York DA's office. Meantime, yesterday, the New York City chief medical examiner ruling that the homeless man named Jordan Neely died from compression of his neck. This incident taking place on the F train on Monday afternoon. Police saying Neely was acting erratically, throwing garbage at passengers and making threats. That's when a Marine veteran put him in a headlock and other passengers stepped in to restrain him. He eventually passed out, and EMS workers were unable to revive him. A witness telling the New York Post, quote,
So one of the things that you can see in the video is that when he has his wrist lock in his choke, his fingers are white, which means that he's squeezing and trying to pull his arm up. And I've already explained why that essentially will cut off the airway and blood flow. The second thing is when you apply a rear naked chokehold, and you have somebody locked up and you're on your bicep and the other hand here along their head, all you have to do is you don't squeeze. You just simply lean back. And by leaning back, what happens is the fatty tissue and the muscular tissue of the neck gets pushed forward. And then it goes into a V shape, actually, which protects the trachea even more, but puts more constrictions on the carotid artery, which is what you wanted to do. So by leaning back, it puts enough force by creating a vise around the carotid and protects the trachea even more so. Now, if you squeeze, you narrow that gap and all that pressure goes onto the trachea. Does everyone understand?
Yes.
Okay. So that's why you do it. So anyway, here's the rest of the video. I think they tried to forward me. They don't let me pause. It's ridiculous. Come on. Don't give me another ad. Don't do this. God, Fox, you sons of...
Is it Instagram again?
It is.
Oh,
Instagram's
wow.
Facebook's trying. Instagram is trying to push. They're coming out with a bunch of new tools. Rumble will have chat soon, which I'm really excited about. All right, sorry folks for the delay. There's nothing I can do about ads, and the video I could have ripped it, but I forgot to do it before the show. So hey, play hockey. Watch Instagram.
Hockey's awesome. I mean, well, you guys like hockey.
Yeah, well,
I'm
you
not
should
the
you
biggest
should
fan.
like
Is
hockey. Here we go.
investigating the death of a homeless man.
threats. That's he passed out or eventually passed out, and EMS workers were unable to revive him. A witness telling the New York Post, quote, "None of us who were there thought he was in danger of dying. We just thought he passed out or ran out of air." Well, protesters marching through New York City yesterday demanding justice for Neely. They're outraged after the Marine was taken into custody but later released without charges. New York Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez tweeting, "Jordan Neely was murdered." Again, that is her opinion, not an official charge. But because Jordan was houseless and crying for food in a time when the city is raising rents and stripping services to militarize itself, while many in power demonize the poor, the murderer gets protected with passive headlines and no charges. It's disgusting. Meantime, Mayor Eric Adams calling on New Yorkers to wait for the results of the investigation.
We cannot just blatantly say what a passenger should or should not do in a situation like that. We should allow the investigation to take its course.
Neely's aunt telling the New York Post that his behavior likely stemmed from the murder of his mother by his stepfather in 2007. We'll see if that Marine faces charges. But Steve, you asked a very important question in light of AOC's comment that this was a murder. According to AOC, it is not a murder until it is charged as a murder. She needs to be more careful with her language.
Right, because the medical examiner has said it was a homicide, and now the district attorney, which released the 24-year-old Marine, is deciding whether or not to charge him.
Correct.
Then it would change from a homicide to a murder.
Correct.
Yeah, also other passengers also felt threatened. They helped out too. This man who died has numerous other arrests for assault, disorderly conduct, fare beating, according to law enforcement.
43.
So before she quickly says this guy is just houseless, understand you could be houseless and you don't have to harass other people on the subway at 2:30 in the afternoon. This is constantly happening in New York. We've been telling you about it. I ride the subways.
So real quick, this guy came onto the train, said he was hungry, said that he really had no reason to live, that he would rather die in jail. He was ready to die that day, paraphrasing. And I'm sorry, if somebody walks on a train and I'm concealed carry, like if we were in Virginia and somebody came on the train and started talking to us and was acting that way and said, I'm ready to die, I'd rather go to prison for the rest of my life, I'm hungry, and they're acting that way and they're getting in people's faces and they're aggressive, I'm going to draw my fucking weapon.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to kill him, but I'm going to put my weapon on him and say, dude, you need to get on the ground. I've got my family here. You're making me feel unsafe that I'm not going to get home. And I'm letting you know right now, if you keep talking like that, you're saying you're ready to die. We don't know if you have a weapon, especially with what's going on. I mean, how can we sit here and not do something? And the second thing is people are getting upset at the guy videotaping. Well, the 5 people who got involved, you just had 5 police officers, right or wrong, who were all charged for whatever you want to say, doing the job that they were supposed to do. Now, they certainly weren't supposed to beat the hell out of that guy and everything else, but people are getting charged for stepping in. What do you want them to do? These 5 people subdued this guy and felt threatened. This guy has 43 charges on his record. He's running around. Obviously, he's mentally unstable. What do you want to do? Does a person have to start shooting or have to start stabbing people in order to be a threat? No, he's making verbal threats. That guy he has to get put down, and maybe not dead, but at least put into the ground and stopped until the authorities come. Where are the police officers on the subway?
Yeah, last time I saw it's throwing stuff at passengers and making insults is not begging for food, and it's called homeless. Not houseless. She's trying to make it sound
Of course she is. Of course she is, because houses are expensive, but homes are not. Home is where the heart is. It's just stupid. It's the language. This is just the stupid left stuff. The guy's a criminal. This is like Michael Floyd. He put a knife to a pregnant woman's stomach. The guy was a counterfeiter. He was a freaking drug addict.
Isn't this AOC's district?
Oh, more than likely.
Then she needs to do something about
I don't know.
it.
I don't know.
Fix it.
I don't know if it is her district, but the point is that she speaks on these things. The mayor actually told her to shut up.
Good.
Wait, who is AOC? I never understood.
Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. She's a state representative in New York, and she's extremely leftist. She's progressive. She's believes in socialist ideology. She believes in a Green New Deal. She believes that inequity and everyone deserves to be equal and everyone deserves to make the same amount of money, and equity, a lie. That equal. It's basically the thought process when you look at equity that everything deserves equal outcome, which means
so like Elon Musk would be $102,000 a year, and everyone would be $102,000.
right, exactly. That Elon Musk making $1 billion or oh God, makes a hell of a lot more than that. That Elon Musk doesn't deserve that, and he needs to be taxed 98% of whatever he makes, so other people can have a better life.
So people who are homeless make money from doing absolutely nothing, and then all these people who are actually billionaires and working hard and deserve a lot of money are just basically being poor because they...
Well, maybe not even poor, but they believe that there should be equal distribution, that they should not have an excess of wealth. Yes.
That's going to cause another Great Depression. People are going to stop working. There's going to be absolutely no people wanting to work because all these people who don't have money are going to be like, oh, well, whatever, I can just stay home and work and no one cares. And I'll get paid for it. And then all Elon Musk people over here who are making billions of dollars are like, wait, what? I'm making $100,000 a year when I should be making $100 billion a year. Like, that's not fair. And then they'll stop working, and then eventually everyone will stop working and money will stop rolling out, and we'll fall into another Great Depression.
Ladies and gentlemen, my daughter just explained socialism and why it sucks balls in probably the most eloquent and simple way in the world. Because when the race doesn't have a winner, why would you run the effing race? And that's the reason. Nobody gets first place. Everybody gets the same thing.
Everyone gets second.
You're right. Everybody's second. So why do you run the race at all? And that's ultimately de-incentivizing the population in the free market, which is antithetical to capitalism and why socialism sucks.
Yeah,
High five.
AOC also proposed that we need to get rid of all cows because of the methane gas that they produce. And
no more planes.
No more planes. Ground all planes. Yet she's got a private plane that she flies everywhere.
She does not have a private plane, yet she does take commercial and she does take private plane. We know that she's done that. Let's be honest. She does not have a plane.
Yeah, but she wanted to ground all airline traffic.
She believes that, yes, that ultimately until we find a solution for some sort of electronic plane, which is the dumbest thing I don't even want to talk about it. There's a whole nother conversation. But AOC.
Hey, Elon Musk, you hear that? Make a Tesla plane.
The whole point of having a plane is the weight. And when you go ahead and consider that depreciation of fuel and using fuel consumption is a part of a navigation of a flight plan, but batteries will weigh the same whether they're charged or not, it's counterintuitive to the effectiveness. You're going to bankrupt the airlines because these batteries essentially weigh more than fuel and a full capacity plane. But like I said, the nice thing about planes is once they get to altitude, they ultimately can ease off on their fuel and have less fuel consumption at a higher altitude because there's less wind resistance and it's better in the glide path or the jet stream for them or against them. But when you add a battery, a lithium ion battery, it weighs the same as takeoff to landing. So it doesn't make much sense. We're not going to get into the aerodynamics of a plane and a battery, but I'm just telling you, we're going off on a tangent, but AOC is full of crap. Here's the rest of this.
Exactly the same time when I'm not working late at night. On the F train, too, by the way. And I can't tell you how many times you see these guys walking up and down screaming, and you think to yourself, this can get out of control at any moment. So this 24-year-old was able to sit there and suppress with a chokehold, not beat him senseless, and perhaps he was on something prior to that. That is why Mayor Adams responsibly said, let's wait. And the other thing is, too, do you want to wait for him to pound people like they did Adam Klotz and just have everyone just sit on the sideline and you're critical of those passengers? You have a 24-year-old who we trained in the military, lives on Long Island, hopping on a subway and said, let me help out the American people again when I'm not in Afghanistan. Let me just grab this guy and hold him down. No cops around because they're understaffed and they're not on the trains. They're upstairs. And this guy takes action. And now you have people protesting for the homeless guy. Were you protesting when he was throwing garbage at people and threatening people in their face? So I have no patience for these people.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, think about the lady who was beaten almost to death down underneath at the subway.
Course.
Remember we had her on a few weeks
and
ago.
We're wondering where the help is.
Sure. And Brian, that point is a really good one because the guy, the Marine, the 24-year-old Marine, held the guy.
Here's what it comes down to is that if you believe that citizens are not going to get fed up in New York and take things to the extreme, this Marine did, in my opinion, the most non-lethal thing that he could possibly do in this situation. If I'm on a subway, I'm not going to expose my skin to somebody and get bit in this day and age with people with hypodermic needles, everything else. By putting him in a chokehold, it kept him safe. Now, he applied the wrong chokehold. And honestly, he could have done everything without applying pressure and kept him restrained. But this is what happens when you have untrained people doing something that's not their job. It doesn't make any sense. Where are the police? Where's the harbor patrol? What is it called in New York? They're called the. Oh, come on. A lot of those guys perished in 9/11. They're the. It's not Marketplace. Look it up real quick.
Okay.
Just say the police in New York City. Hayden, what do you think about this? Like, say we're on a subway, we're on a tram. Somebody comes in, he starts cursing, yelling, saying these things. What would you expect? I mean, Port Authority. Yes, the Port Authority.
There you go.
What I would do? What would I do?
No, what would you expect? What would you expect to happen in a family setting with all of us? And how would you expect me to react? And then the second thing would be, what would you want to see done if you were put into that?
I definitely would expect you to grab your weapon, not to like have your finger on the trigger or anything. But I would expect to have your hand at least on the weapon, make it very clear you have a weapon. And
but we're in New York City, which we can't carry.
I was going to ask New York City, are they have concealed carry or are they?
I would make
very
it,
rarely.
I would feel like you would make it very, very clear that you could kill this man if you wanted to. And I would expect a bunch of other people to do that. Personally, I would just kind of hide and make myself invisible. I'm not going to get into that. But I feel like a lot of other people would not. And they would go and take action like this man did. And it just ended up it was a mistake.
What would you do if we were in New York and this was us and you couldn't have your gun, what would
I
you
would
do?
have, well, it depends on the situation. I mean, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure the family's safe. That's my,
It's New York.
well, understood, but not all people in New York are bad, and not all people on the subway are looking to hurt others. I would make sure you guys aren't going into the opposite train car. So the first thing is I would look at moms. You've seen me do this before. I just get the kids to safety. I wouldn't even look at you. I just Olivia, get to the kids to safety.
Yep.
And you grab the kids and you exfil. And once that's done, I'm just going to take a normal posture. I'm probably going to stand up. Probably going to put my hands on one of the poles and sit there. Maybe put one hand in my pocket just to make me look like I'm non-threatening, and I'm going to observe. I'm going to make sure he knows that I'm not a threat, or at least thinks I'm not a threat. And then secondary is the moment he takes action against somebody, the moment he brandishes a weapon, or the moment that it turns to a point where it's full joy, I'm going to take him down. But those things will happen in sequential order because those are my priorities. My priorities aren't the other passenger. I don't give a fuck about anybody else. I don't care about any of the other passengers. I don't care about him. I don't care about the conductor. I only care about you guys. And once you're at safety, then the threat is right in front of me, and then I'll address that threat. But I'm not going to let him know that I'm a threat to him in any way, shape, or form, because I want that advantage. I want that tactical advantage. I want him to assume that I'm as non-threatening as I possibly could be.
It is really, really hard for you to look non-threatening. All my friends are like, oh my God, your dad is huge. He's scary. And I'm like,
Yeah.
She is great. You're
He's a
6'4".
giant teddy bear. If you're wearing short sleeves, you better cover up, because there is absolutely no way that he is not going to look at you and be like, that man could kill me. There's no way.
There are ways, and it's the same way that you don't remember when you were in Target and you crept in Target and I peeped you the whole way throughout the entire store and you didn't see me once.
I noticed someone was following
No, you
me, but
didn't.
I didn't.
No, you didn't.
Wait,
You're so
then
full of
you-
shit.
you-
No, you had
I
no
saw
idea.
a man with gray
I
shorts
peeped you.
watching me.
I peeped you the entire time, and I watched you for 15 minutes. And then I went back in the car. You didn't even see me. I went back in the car and sat down, and then I explained everything you did. And you're like, "How did you do that?" I can make myself disappear if I want to. I can blend in if I want to. You didn't see me at all. Don't even get me started. You're so funny. Anyway, the whole point. This isn't about that, but the whole point is.
I was like 7.
It doesn't matter. At 7, you pointed out a guy with a gun who walked into the gymnasium, and you knew enough that he was printing in his lower back, and you recognized that was a firearm. You were a very smart 7-year-old.
It was also because you would ask me, like, every time before we left the house, can you see the gun in my back of my shirt?
That's
And
right.
If I would say yes, and be like, oh, I know what that looked like now, and then I just saw a giant bump in
Why
this
do you think
guy's
he
shirt. I
asked
was
you?
Why
like,
do you think I asked you? Why do you think you have situational awareness? In the Las Vegas shooting, you knew exactly what to do. I've told you what to do in a school shooting. Of course I'm going to teach you those things. Of course I'm going to teach you. Situational awareness is imperative. I don't care what age you are.
On school shootings, this got me really mad. It was at the beginning of the year, and we were doing a school shooting practice, and they were all like, okay, well, usually if this were real, we would hide, but because it's not real, we're not going to practice what we should. We're not going to actually try and save ourselves. We're just going to ignore the whole drill and get to learning, because I can't waste 5 minutes of my class time to save your lives in an emergency. Like, your lives aren't important to me. My pay is, and I have to get the 5 minutes of learning that I'm never going to remember inside your head. It gets me so upset, because in every single one of these shooter drills, all the teachers are either like, stay at your desk and put your head down, or we're just going to ignore the drill, or we're not going to do anything, when you should be practicing to save your freaking life. You can die.
We're going off on another topic, but you and I have discussed this. Mom and I, we've had these conversations. But if your teacher says to you, we're going to go ahead and evade and hide, and you know you're not supposed to follow that.
Yeah. You grab chairs and pencils and scissors and get anyone you can to follow you. And if you're alone, then you're alone at that point. And if you're alone and you can run, run. And the thing is, in classes, pretty much all of the classes, because we have a setup to where it's like a separate house for each grade. So 7th grade has their own house, 6th grade has their own house, and 8th grade has their own house. And pretty much every single classroom has windows. There are maybe like 6 classrooms in the houses that don't have windows. And then the ones that are in the schools, like in the middle of the school that doesn't have a window, don't use that photo of me.
When you talk.
Yeah. The one in the middle of the school that those don't have windows, but the ones in the houses, they do. And the thing is, the teachers are like, no, if there's an emergency, we're not going to jump out the window to the forest where you can actually get out of the emergency. We're going to hide under our desks where they can clearly see you. Like, there's not a screen on the window. Open the window and jump out of the window.
It's not about that. You should stay in place and you should be secure, because the chances of someone coming into your classroom are slim. The whole point you should do, though, is that if someone is going to enter your classroom, hiding isn't going to do any good. And the best way to do it, and this is what they teach in Israel and the schools in Israel, is everyone grabs heavy things, books, bottles of glue, rulers, apples, whatever they have. And then they go ahead and right when that person breaches the door, they charge that area and they throw everything they can and possible to distract that shooter. And having 30 children and a teacher bum rush, yes, people are going to get hit, but it's better than just standing there. It's better than just standing there and doing absolutely nothing. So it's something to think about. And it's something, someone had a question. What were your thoughts on the rise of the school shootings that are happening?
It's awful at this point. There are so many evil and sick people out there who just get, I don't even know. Do they even get joy out of killing people? Like, seriously, you're killing innocent children. You're killing someone's daughter or son. They might have siblings. Like, you'll never know what that person had. If they had a best friend, if they had a sibling, if they had a mom or a dad or a grandma. They have so many people who care about them, and you're just ending their life. Like, you are evil if you do that. Like, pure evil. I don't care if you were forced to do it. You are evil.
What do you mean forced to do it? I don't understand.
I don't know. Like, if you don't have a choice in doing it, it doesn't matter. If you go into a school and kill children because you want to, you are evil.
Well, here's the thing: is that you need to understand is at that point when you become homicidal or you're a homicidal maniac, levity causes pain. Do you know what the word levity is?
No.
Well, let's think about what does levity mean?
Sounds like something like light. Happy, something like that.
Yeah, that's exactly what it means. I mean, you couldn't have nailed it any better than that. Levity is that, is humor, is fun, is joy. And in those people's minds, and they all have one thing in common, they're all homicidal maniacs, they're all psychopaths, is that levity causes them pain. And the only thing that they know how to do to sustain and suppress their own hatred for themselves and the world around them is to destroy or hurt others and destroy levity. It's a form of neurosis. It's consistent in all serial killers. It's consistent in all people, homicidal maniacs. And you nailed it on the head. What is the worst, most tragic thing you can do? It's to hurt children.
It's awful. And here's a tip for anyone that like is kidnapped or comes face to face with someone with a weapon. Here's actually a tip. It's in those people's head if they're crazy enough to go and kill because they want to or something like that. If you go and you basically tell them, like, the first thing you have to say, I'm a person. I'm someone's daughter or I'm someone's son. I have a wife or a husband. I have.
No.
That's
the worst thing you can do. Who told you this?
I read it on an article on somewhere. I forgot where I read it, but it's what it basically.
You're right. This is hostage and negotiation strategy 101. What you're saying is true. This is what they teach. But let me tell you how that won't work, because you're not dealing with a rational person and you're trying to rationalize with a person who has no rationality. And I know I just circulated that argument 3 times by saying the same word in 3 different forms. Hayden, you know how my language. You look at this person and say, I've lived a better life than you ever have. Go fuck yourself. Pull the trigger. That's what you tell them. Because that is the only thing these people are going to understand is you're not afraid. And either way, they're probably going to do whatever they want to do. And here's the thing, Hayden, you're not going to ever be in that situation because you're too smart. You know what to do. You know what to do, but you do not kowtow to these people. That's what they want. They want you to say how, I'm somebody's daughter. This person, they don't care. They know that you're somebody's daughter. That's why they're doing this. They want to cause pain to people who they feel are emphatically not like them in any way, shape, or form. And they hate their own parents. They hate their own friends. They hate everything. And they want you to feel that. I know that would be hard for a little girl to do that. But if there's any child in this world who could look at somebody who's ready to try to take their life and say, you know what, jerk off, do it. I dare you. Because my dad's going to find you in the afterlife and he is going to make your life a living hell. Whatever it is.
You're already going to hell, but he'll go down to hell and find you and make it more of a hell.
Yeah. It's just, you can't rationalize with a person who has no empathy or sympathy for human life. It's just, you can't. That's all I'm going to say.
Just basically don't be scared.
No, you're going to be.
You're going to be scared, but don't show it.
Don't be scared. Be smart. This is
smart. Get out. Don't be in that situation.
Don't do what the teacher says at this point. I wouldn't listen to the adults because they're going to tell you hide. No, don't hide.
There's been one teacher in my entire life who actually made us do the drills, who would yell at us and give us ISR if we talked during the drills. And he watches your show, Mr. Lunt.
Yeah, he's a good dude. He's heard my show.
Yeah, favorite teacher of all time, hands down. And he would make us do the drills.
Good for him.
He would send us to the dean if we talked. And as soon as the drill came on, he wouldn't even listen to the announcement. He's like, guys, this is a drill and get to it. And he even told us he had to talk with us, like 15-minute talk. And he was like, if this happens, and it probably won't, probably never will, but there is a chance it will happen. And your other teachers aren't going to tell you this, but I will. If this happens, you grab chairs, you grab books, you grab scissors, you grab anything you can find.
I hope he learned that from the show because that is exactly what I've said.
Yeah, you grab anything that could possibly harm a person and you get out of sight at the door. If someone
all have
comes
laptop
in,
computers.
Listen to me, folks. Just walk in your front door and have 5 people in your family grab a Nerf ball. And I want you to walk in and pretend you're armed and have 5 balls come at you and see how quickly they can close the gap. And you could not see, you were distracted because your normal reaction is going to be to duck. Your normal reaction is going to be to move out of the way. The first thing that's happened is that rifle's going to swing out of the way. You're not going to lean into that. If you got fucking staplers coming at you and glass clay coming at you and laptops.
Every single person has a laptop. Those things are like 2 pounds. Like 18 people throwing a 2-pound laptop at someone, that's going to hurt.
Yeah. It comes down to this. Children don't have to be victims. There are weapons everywhere. In this situation right next to me, I've got 12 things that I can grab and turn into a weapon. Kids should not hide. They should teach them how to fight for their life and scissors and everything else. And the key is to get up against the wall. Find the entryway. Everybody gets up against the wall. And the moment that door is encroached and that person comes in, the wall collapses and everyone throws. I mean, it's the simplest thing.
That's exactly what he told us. He's like, get out of sight from the door, get on the wall up to it. And as soon as that door handle moves, whether it's locked or not, if they want to get in, they'll shoot the door handle. The lock doesn't do anything. As soon as the door opens, you throw and you tackle and you kill. It's awful. You're going to be 12 and you're going to have to kill someone, but you have to end that person's life, because if you don't end that person's life, they will end your life.
That's it. And that's an unfortunate reality. And instead of us, here's the whole thing, is just arm that teacher. Go give Mr. Lunn a gun. Go give Mr. Lawson a gun. Get him certified, because those 2 guys will take out the threat. And they know I will too. I mean, it just comes down to this, is that, yes, it's sad that we have to arm our children, or arm our teachers, but it doesn't matter. That's the solution. It's the only solution, because I have said it a million times. Every single time there is a situation of an active shooter, the only thing that stops it is a gun. Yeah. That's it. Either the active shooter turns it on themselves, the police apprehend with a gun, they kill the guy with a gun, or that person surrenders because the guns that are being pointed at him. That's it. That's the only thing.
It's guns. Guns start it and end it. That's how it works. There's also been another school that did it really good. They never told us because I think we were too young. We were in 3rd grade when this all happened, but basically it was Texas, and they had an entire school day dedicated to these drills, and we did these drills over and over and over again, and we had our vice principal dress up all in black, and he had a water gun. And they did this on the announcements, and they were like, if you get squirted by the water gun, you lay down. And we do it and do it and do it until there are no more there are no more kids left. And basically for the younger kids, 3rd grade and down, they would do that all day for the first half of the day, and then for the second day they would go 4th and up. And I'm not sure exactly what they did, but I did have a few friends in 4th grade at the time, and they told me what they did is basically your goal was to kill Mr. Gutierrez and get him out by throwing foam stuff. They had foam props. It was super cool. By throwing stuff at him, and basically you had to disarm and kill Mr. Gutierrez. And if you did that, then without any deaths, that's when you got to stop. You would run the drill until there were no deaths and Mr. Gutierrez was gone. And that,
all right.
It was awesome.
Well, I appreciate the perspective, but it comes down to this. This whole thing in New York City is you have a Marine who's done his job. He swore to the Constitution to protect, all threats, foreign and domestic, and all lives, whether it be American citizen, whether it be the brothers in arms, whether it be whatever. But he's sworn to protect the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic. And if somebody comes on a public train and starts talking about death and jail and I'm ready to go out, you know what? Especially someone who's deployed, is this guy's seen, I'm sure, people clacking off vests. He's in Afghanistan. He's probably had remains of his buddies that have been on him. That's the type of shit that this guy saw something that was a threat and he neutralized the threat. And AOC saying this, it's just ridiculous. And it's so disrespectful to the military. And instead of calling him a murderer, I think she can say, without condemning the Marine, that this is a tragic situation. This brings up homelessness in the United States, how it's a serious issue. Mental health is a serious issue, and we need to do more. This should be investigated. It should, all those things, but you don't sit here and call him a murderer. It's extremely irresponsible. And if it results in, riots and cities burning, which it more than likely will, we've got to hold these politicians accountable for what they say on the national TV. All right, next topic. Want to go into the next one real quick.
Hayden is actually going to say goodnight before the next topic. She's getting sleepy.
You did awesome. Thanks, honey. I really appreciate it tonight. I hope you come back on and do it again. Say goodbye to everybody.
Bye.
Bye. Hayden's gone. That was good. You did that, honey. Thanks. You're more than welcome to come on anytime. You're a fun guest. Give me 5. Give me a hug. I don't want you to get. I don't want.
Oh, make a bot.
I know.
Oh my gosh.
Whatever. You're just like, okay. So this one, I'm glad Hayden's gone for this one. So Dylan Mulvaney is creating clones. And you know Dylan Mulvaney. We've talked about him on this show plenty of times. So this is the actor, the person who is trying to garner attention from any way that they can, says that he's a woman, but isn't taking anything, hasn't gotten any reassignment surgery. The apple still has a stem on it, the whole works. And now I found a TikTok video, and it was funny because I didn't mean to find a TikTok video. It just came out when I was surfing, and it showed up on my page, and I couldn't help but really laugh. It looks very much like Mulvaney, and I figured I would show it to y'all. And not to draw attention to Mulvaney, but Anheuser-Busch is getting destroyed.
I bet.
Anheuser-Busch, the CEO, came out. You remember they released that letter, which the letter kind of defended their actions. but then they released the commercial that was all patriotic. Well, the CEO came out with another statement, and now he's popping smoke. He's saying this decision was not mine. It was never approved by anybody in marketing. This essentially was like a rogue agent that did it.
Yeah, right.
And so now they're like completely backpedaling. I've got the quote from the CEO. Olivia's going to look it up while we watch the video. So don't miss the video because I want to get your opinion on it because this is so over the top. Olivia, I'll find it. You watch this.
Okay.
Hi, everyone. Get ready with me to go to dinner with my homophobic/transphobic uncle. I'm actually so nervous. Get ready with me. So as you guys know, I just had surgery and my uncle's in town just to visit with me. I think he has something to do like for his job, but my family thinks it's super important that I see him. So I'm going to see him. So I'm actually originally from Ohio, but all of my family members are from the Middle East. The Middle East. Jordan. In the Middle East. So think about it. Just think about it and just think about it. I want you to think about it. Now that I let you guys think about it, I hope you understand how anxious I am because, like, be fucking for real. I haven't put myself in any situation like this in a fat minute. When I started transitioning, I basically never went back to Ohio, which is where my family is. So... if you guys need a full coverage foundation, Dermablend, leg and body, watch. You're physically joking. Physically! Babe, I know a lot of you are gonna be like, how do you know he's homophobic? Babe, he's my uncle. I grew up with him. I know he's transphobic/homophobic/all the phobics. Like, probably scared of spiders too, babe. And he was one of those uncles that my entire childhood would call me a girl. So, babe, you got what you wanted. You literally got what you wanted. If you're interested in any of the products that I'm putting on my face, like the Dermablend foundation or this Krylon TV Paint White Stick, it is literally linked in my Instagram bio, which is linked in my TikTok bio. So don't even play with me. You already know where it is.
You can't
but
laugh
how
quietly.
beautiful does this Krylon White TV
laugh,
Paint White Stick actually blend out? The guy, I'm about to look so stunning. He's not even going to be able to be upset. Picture this, you guys. I was a freshman in high school, gay boy, literally just minding their own business. My uncle got everybody in my family to like send me a call or text of some sort of like aggression and hate about how I had blush on for the homecoming dance. Babe, the photos were taken outside. I had rosacea and it was 60 degrees. Eyelashes, babe, eyelashes. My lashes are on and now I'm using the Sigma Twilight highlighter. Let me show you in the sun. Eat it.
Dude. So listen, people
little
like,
over the top.
Matt, are you obsessed with the trend? No, that's not what this is about. This is about something very simply. I don't care about that video. It doesn't bother me at all. And honestly, good for you. More power to you, sister, brother, whatever. You're still not a woman. I don't care how pretty you are as a man. Women are more than makeup and a dress. And so the video doesn't even bother me. I'm like, dude, I have worked with people at Apple who are more flamboyant than that. John Stellick comes to mind. I've worked with people who are like, oh, bitch, please.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I've worked with
one.
Yeah,
too,
yeah. Don't say one. That's horrible. Just be honest.
I worked with a man who did drag on the weekends. His name was Harry, and I have to say he made a better woman than he did a man. But he was oh honey, oh stop it, bitch. Oh, right. He was one of those, but he was freaking hilarious, and I loved him.
Yeah, and listen, I don't care about that. If that guy wants to go on and put on makeup, good for him. He made a very pretty woman. Yeah, who cares? Who cares? Like most internet stars, the moment they talk, you want to mute it. So I get it. But the problem is that just because your uncle doesn't embrace that you're a woman, it doesn't make him homophobic or transphobic. That's not what it means. Now, if he says to you, I'm going to disown you, you're no longer allowed in my house, you're out of the fucking will, and I'm going to call the police if you ever step on my door. Okay, you're transphobic. If you say that you want to hurt people who have a certain, you're transphobic. That maybe her uncle is just like, you know what? You can come to my house, but you better knock that women shit off because you're not a woman. And I'm not going to treat you that way. And if you want me to call you Sasha or, Ray of Sunshine or Diamond, whatever you want to be called, fine. But the moment that you start espousing that you're a woman in my house, I'm not comfortable with it. And the reason why is because if you would just slow your brain down for 2 seconds and shut up and think, is that is absolutely sexism at its finest. And she's like, why? It's sexism not to allow me to be a woman. No. You're degrading women. So what you're doing, it's like if somebody was black in here and you come in here and you say you're black, I'm not going to let you do that shit either. Because you're degrading black people. You're pretending you're something you're not. You're not a fucking woman. I don't care how pretty you are. That doesn't make you a woman. So how can people be upset when you're like, oh, that's sexism?
No, it's not.
No, it's not. It's actually the opposite of sexism. It's feminism. It's saying I support women. My wife does not need to sit here and, like, when you get up to go take a piss while you're standing up, mind you, do I have to stand up in the room and watch you leave? No, I don't have to hold the door open for you either. I don't hold the door open for men. You know what men do? We one finger it. And when they're like literally 2 feet away, we let go. That's what guys do. We hold it and then we watch them and go, there you go, buddy. Women, we hold it open for them. That's polite. But I'm not going to sit here and walk on the outside of the street with you too and treat you like a woman. I'm not going to go get your tampons for you that you're not going to put anywhere but up your ass. This is ridiculous.
You know, and unless you're a Kardashian, no woman talks like that.
No.
That's just no.
Push the button. I've never seen, you push the late. I've never seen a woman act like that in my life. The only thing I've ever seen is a man pretending to be a woman who act like that.
It's like, what do they think we are? And what do they think we act like? For them to say, I'm a woman, and be so completely over the top that they need to act like that to pretend they're a woman. I don't know.
Well, listen, well, it's obvious. I mean, psychosis will tell you why, because they know they're not a woman. So they act overly flamboyant in order to portray themselves as a woman. So people know that there's no doubt they're a woman. Well, that's not it. I know women who are very masculine. I know women who are effeminate. I know women who are indifferent, but it makes them a woman. But I don't know what that is. I have no idea what that is. Honestly, it's a fucking drag queen. That's the only people who I've ever heard talk like that are drag queens. And once again, I don't care if you're a drag queen. Good for you. I think it's awesome. Do what makes you happy. Just stop pretending that I've got to call you a woman. I don't know how many fucking times I have to say this. I mean, seriously, how many times do we have to say this before we go enough? And this is all Dylan Mulvaney. You're creating more Dylan Mulvaneys. So there's not enough room. Supposedly there wasn't enough room for women in acting and women in song and women in writing. And remember, women don't have enough representation. They don't make enough. So what are we going to do? Start giving women's roles away?
To men.
Does it make any sense? I mean,
didn't Hollywood just go on this big kick where we're going to remake movies where the main stars were men, the characters were male.
Right.
And we're going to remake these movies and turn those characters into female.
Yeah.
So that was the big kick. So what are they going to start casting those roles as men pretending to be women and saying
so
they're
in
women?
Pretty Women, it's going to be, pretty non-identifying binary gender. What's it going to be? Like here's an example what Olivia's talking about. Like this would make the Tucker Carlson story starring Don Lemon, coming fall 2023 Netflix. There's one that looks really good. Let's see if I got another one in here. I think I do. Oh yeah, here's a good one. Here's another one that I did. Baywatch 2023, get your guardong. And Baywatch with all transgender people. Let's be good. Good Baywatch. David Hasselhoff. Yeah, little Baywatch.
That's funny.
Yeah, it is. Oh, here's another one. Greta Thunberg, the story of Greta. Replace the little white girl.
How dare you?
Yeah. How dare me? But replace Greta Thunberg with an aspiring black actress. That'd be nice, right? The Greta Thunberg story. Did you see that?
I'm seeing it now, but I didn't see it before. That's pretty funny.
That's good. Here's another one. Let's see if I can find it. Oh, here it is. About Geronimo. replaced with an African American actor, Geronimo. You know, the Native American Indian. That's good. Netflix special, Geronimo.
They're going to have one about Pocahontas starring
Oh, I got one that's close
Warren.
to that. How about this Joan of Arc? This true story of Joan of Arc. There it is.
I got to see it.
Yep. True story of Joan of Arc. And then lastly, you know, just so it's not all, you know, people of color, because I'm not trying, I want to be balanced in my racist tropes. Genghis Khan with a ginger.
An Irishman.
And I believe an Irishman. It's Genghis. It's Genghis. That's good.
With the beer in his hand.
Genghis Hong. I'm from the Hong Clan, from the Lowland Scotlands. Yeah. I mean, come on. It's just ridiculous, folks. It's just stupidity. So what are you going to do? You're going to replace all women? Leroy and I have had this standing joke where we want to go ahead and go into a Planned Parenthood and just tell them, I'm here for my abortion. Which one of you is expecting? Oh, that would be me. Let's see what they do. You know what they're going to do. They're going to be like, you get the fuck out of here. Excuse me. What do you mean get out of here? I mean, I'm totally going to do this. And I will keep a straight face and I'll record the whole thing. I've got no problem doing it.
You have to hide the camera because they'll make you turn it off.
Of course I'll hide the camera. Of course I'll hide the camera. Anyway, I thought
Braveheart starring Melanie Griffith.
Right.
That's
right,
funny.
Right. You know, or the animated short Brave with Lucy Liu, right? And then Mulan would be, you know, Cameron Diaz or some shit.
Or the chick from Jon Snow. You know nothing, Jon Snow.
You know nothing, Jon Snow.
Her, yeah.
Yeah. That's sad she died in the show. Folks, the Tucker Carlson tapes have been released. And I haven't had a chance to show you all these. And I don't know what they're trying to do. I don't know what they're trying to prove. But all of the tapes, I actually like Tucker Carlson more. Because he doesn't have the proverbial stick up his butt. He's mellow. He's hilarious. And he jokes with his staff. And yeah, he makes sexual innuendo and all. They're laughing with him. I mean, it's fucking hilarious. I would love to work for Tucker. He seems like an appreciative, kind guy. I don't know what these tapes are supposed to show me, but I'm kind of like, dude, I'm becoming a Tucker fan because I like him a lot more, seeing that he's not so pompous and stuffy. Well, let's listen to this. I've got a couple of these. Here's the Tucker tapes that are supposed to destroy his credibility. Fox is releasing these. These are all essentially with hot mic. So it would be like at the end of the show when we're like, okay, great job. Oh, God, thanks so much. What a good show. Good show, Olivia. Thanks for that blowjob before the show, honey. Really appreciate it, right? So that's what a hot mic is. And it's saying something you're not supposed to say. But Tucker Carlson, he doesn't do anything that, in my opinion, is offensive. Listen to this.
Well, that was a week, I'll say. Holy shit. 10 hours. That slimy little motherfucker sitting across from me. Oh,
so here's what he's talking about.
Oh my God.
Right.
It's so weird to hear him cuss.
Yeah, it's like, well, that's why people are like, you shouldn't cuss on your show. I'm like, these people that you watch, you don't think they cuss? You don't think Dan Bongino? Have you ever met Dan Bongino? No, you haven't? Well, I have. And trust me, Dan Bongino, he is not a freaking flowers and sunshine type of guy. You're kidding me. You're kidding me. Bill O'Reilly, you think he's sunshines and flowers? Mark Levin, you think any of these guys don't cuss up a storm? Give me a fucking break, people. I just do it because I'm not afraid of hiding. And and if you're not going to syndicate me because I drop an F-bomb once in a while, then I don't deserve to be syndicated because your voice should power through that stuff. Tucker Carlson cusses like a sailor. I don't know the man. There are a few people who I do know, who I know how they talk. And from these tapes, this was the Dominion, the 10 hours in the deposition with Dominion that he was, you know, doing his affidavit and doing, you know, the investigatory work against the defense, and the CEO of Dominion and all of this. He's talking about how they were acting. Here it is.
Can you move the video down? Someone's requested. The live on Facebook is.
Oh yeah, sure. Thanks, y'all. Thanks for telling me. So essentially, he's just talking about the CEO of Dominion.
The best, and I wasn't talking about you. It's just the opposite.
He's giving me a compliment.
No, I'm not. What do you mean? Because you've never been this affirmed in your life? I bet. Thank you, Alex. Have a happy weekend. See you, man. The amount, it was so unhealthy, the hate, thank you, Teresa, the hate that I felt for that guy. I mean, thank you, Todd.
How could you not?
I never feel that way, because I don't put myself, I don't want to feel that way. I think it's wrong. It's bad. It's totally bad for you to feel that way. But that guy, I mean, he triggered the shit out of me. Where are you now? Where do you live? The amount of times I had, first of all, fuck you on my lips was like, it was unbelievable. Suggesting that I was cheating on my taxes?
Really?
Oh, absolutely. Oh, absolutely. So where are you domiciled? Where are you now? Do you own a home there? I was like, no, I do not own a home in Maine, which I don't, by the way.
All right, so there's one. Here's the other one. And then I'm going to read the excerpt that everyone's melting down about. And it's so fucking clutch your pearls, right? The left is so full. They couldn't hit water if they fell out of a fucking boat, right? You can't get them on the January 6th stuff because nobody cares. Nobody cares about January 6th. The only people who care about January 6th are fucking liberals and conservatives who won't condemn January 6th. Nobody cares. Like the trial's worst ratings ever. Like, that's ridiculous. The Iran-Contra hearings were some of the most boring. I watched them all. And the ratings on that were like the Super Bowl. Nobody cared about January 6th. They know it's all made up. Do you think the American public actually thinks that Donald Trump is the person who initiated J6? How stupid. Do you think the president might have a little more power? Do you think the president may have just ran like a straw poll inside the military and said, who wants to join me? Let's bring some tanks. Let's bring some planes. Let's really do a real insurrection. Give me a fucking break. This is the president of the United States. He has the armed forces at his disposal. I'm sure there's a few people who would sympathize with his plights. He doesn't need to go ahead and get the Proud Boys and a bunch of oath-keeping douchebags. Come on, people, grow up. Anybody that sits here and says J6, oh yeah, Donald Trump was the person who, come on. Yeah, Donald Trump said some stupid shit. Donald Trump shouldn't have said some of the stuff that he said. Donald Trump has done things that I don't really appreciate. But to sit here and say he is the mastermind behind J6 when 2 hours into his speech it was taking place and wasn't done and said nothing about going up and tearing down and getting zip ties and trying to take people hostage. Come on, give me a break. Give me a break. There was a very small element of people in there who were there to cause harm, cause damage, and those people are all going to jail, as you've seen today, as 4 of the Proud Boy members are going to prison. And guess what? Good. Sorry. Don't care if you don't like, oh, Matt, they didn't get a fair trial. No, fuck that. Okay? Fuck that. I don't care. Yes, here's something that I've never been charged with. I have said plenty of things on this show, almost 3 years of content. I've never been charged with seditious conspiracy, okay? So guess what? I obviously know there's a line you don't cross. You don't send text to people who are telling you they're going to go into a building, and you don't go ahead and share that with other people. You don't get into group messages and do these type of things. Enough. Stop. There is no master plan. January 6th wasn't designed by Donald Trump to uncover the cabal, okay? Sorry, it's not a part of the plan. It's not. There is no plan.
It's all part of the plan.
No, it's not. There's no plan. You always said, just trust the plan. Just wait, Matt. Wait. It's coming. No, it's not. There's nothing coming. Donald Trump is going to run for president. That's what's coming. And the only way we're going to see if this works is that Donald Trump starts running for the people. There is no plan. There's no fucking plan. There's no plan. Donald Trump does not have a plan. There is nothing that's going to happen. Okay? There's no secret regiment of military. They're going to take over the White House and reinstate him as president. None of this is going to happen. This has all been a lie. You've been lied to. So let it go. You want to see Donald, the numbers came out in the polls. Donald Trump has a snowball's chance in hell with the demographic numbers. Those numbers are never wrong. This is broken up by race, color, creed, education, whether you pee sitting up, sitting down, and they are bad. There is no path, none right now for Donald Trump to win. And that is as clear as it can be. And whether you agree with that or not, I don't care, because I've been doing this for a shit ton of time. And you can look at the last 2 elections, and I have predicted things. Everyone who's watched my show knows how good I am at this. Right now, he does not have a path to the White House. He does not. There's no chance to the White House. The only way he's going to get a path to the White House is picking the right VP and start going after Biden. We have to, and here's the sad thing. You got to pull a Bill Maher. You got to pull a Bill Maher in 2019 and say, well, only thing we can hope for is a recession in order to get Donald Trump out of office. And that's really the truth, because that's what people are going to vote Biden out for, is the inflation.
Our Amy said you need to please go to Planned Parenthood and request a mammogram and a pap smear. That'd be freaking hilarious.
Folks, I'm not trying to go off on a tangent here. What I'm just trying to tell you is it's time to get our head out of the clouds. It's time to stop falling for this shit. You cannot believe the amount of stuff that I deflect on a daily basis coming from people. There are actually people who believe that this is a master plan to expose the swamp, and Donald Trump is biding his time. Do you understand that he can't even walk into the White House right now? Do you know an ex-president can't even walk into the White House? Are you aware? Do you understand how powerless an ex-president truly is? Unless you're like Obama, who gets to run everything behind the scenes, and you have his entire administration in there right now running Joe Biden. That's how you're successful. The only way that the Republicans are going to win the White House in 2024 is if Donald Trump starts running for the people. He's got to get off Truth Social. He's got to stop endorsing NFTs. He's got to stop making commercials about his letters book. My God, focus, boy. Focus.
Stop making videos about DeSantis right now.
Focus, Donald. I want to see you there, but I'll be honest with you. All the numbers, every single one of them say the following. People are like, oh, it's a conspiracy. It's all part of the plan. It's all a part of the plan. It's all part of the plan. Here's all
part of the plan.
Here's the plan. The swamp, the Illuminati, the cabal are putting out these poll numbers. These are Republican poll numbers. You understand that, right? These are Republican. This isn't NBC. This isn't Real Clear Politics. These are Republican pollsters calling Republicans. And they're saying Donald Trump versus Joe Biden. The answer is no. But if you put DeSantis in there, the answer is yes, which tells you the following. You put anyone other than Donald Trump in there in the Republican nominee and we'll vote Biden out. Folks, how do you not take that? How do you not have Donald Trump sit back in the wings, take his administration, the ones that are loyal, the ones that are really good at what they do, put them in place, and have DeSantis go in there or another Republican and tear ass and kill it? And Donald Trump gets to make $250,000 a year on the lecture circuit. He gets to continuing to sue people who have sued him frivolously. And he gets to go ahead and write books all the time and sell NFT trading cards and run the Republican Party from afar. Well, it sounds like a pretty good deal to me. What are we waiting for? Yeah, I've given Donald Trump advice. I made him a video that how many people? 175,000 people saw?
Yeah.
And that video rocked. And I was just honest with him. And I just said, dude, stop running for yourself. Get off of this. Get off Truth Social. Stop having your political action committee hit Ron DeSantis and just run. Start doing rallies now. Every time Joe Biden says something, you counteract it. Get back on Twitter. You've got like 100 million people that you could speak to every fucking day, and you're being a baby because of Twitter. Elon Musk is there. He turned your account back on. I don't care. Truth Social is never going to be the size of Twitter. It will never be that size. It's a shit thing. It's all the same crap. Just get on Twitter, get on Facebook, do what you did in 2016, talk to the people, and every time Joe Biden makes a video, you make one too, and you ensure that 150 million people see it, and it's all about politics. It's all about policy. It's all about what you're going to do to bring us back to 2016 to 2020 numbers. But if you don't do that, and you keep doing NFT scams and grifter type stuff, you're just feeding the Democrats narrative. They call you a grifter and you're acting like one. NFT trading cards, books on Fox News about the letters of Donald Trump. Give me a fucking break. Nobody cares, Donald. We don't have $89.99 to spend. It's time to come here and go for the people. We've given enough money. You want money for your campaign? I'm willing to donate today, but tell me you're going to campaign. Tell me you're not going to run a fucking info commercial. Okay, because I don't need a Jerry Falwell or a freaking Tammy Faye Baker exercise. I'm not here to provide you money. What I'm here to do is have you run for the American people and crush it. Drain the swamp. Go after these people. Be that hard-nosed fighter that you were. But you're going after Ron DeSantis. And honestly, DeSantis still hasn't even said he's going to run. That should be in the next 2 weeks if he's going to do it at all.
Panthers beat the Leafs.
I know they did. I already told you Panthers are going to sweep them. Didn't I call that? Didn't I say 4-0?
Yes, you did.
Toronto's not going to win a fucking game in this series.
Nope.
Why does it? Just seriously, folks. I told you, politics are my third. You know what? There's 4 things I'm good at.
Number 1, you can't say on air.
Number 1, I can't say on air, but Olivia will attest. Number 2 is hockey. Number 3 is nerddom, and number 4 is politics. Folks, I love Donald Trump when he's Donald Trump, his best version of himself, when he's going after the left, when he's challenging the media, when he's quick-witted, when he has his moments of kindness, which are plentiful, but you'll never see them. We know who the real guy is, and we know what they've done to him, but enough of us making excuses. If we have to make excuses for the president of the United States, then he shouldn't be president. That's the truth. He should be unimpeachable. His actions should be the best of all of us. Because I know you and you know me. If I had that seat to be president of the United States, I would do everything I could never to ruin my reputation. I would do whatever I could to make sure that this country would move forward because I love my country. You have to have that mindset going in. It can't be a game. It can't be a joke. Donald Trump has an amazing following, but it's starting to wane. And he thinks that having his little people go out and just rip on DeSantis is going to work. It's not. Because DeSantis isn't rising to the occasion. DeSantis hasn't even announced. How much is he? I've never seen Donald Trump, anyone ever own Donald Trump the way Ron DeSantis owns Donald Trump. Have you?
Well, I haven't watched politics that long, but no, DeSantis really isn't rising to the occasion.
He's just not doing anything. He's just like, no, I'm just going to sit here and keep going after Disney. Anyway, don't get upset. Don't get mad at me. I'm telling you the truth. And you don't have to like it. And anybody's like, fuck this, I'm not watching the show anymore. Well, the reason why you're not is because you know I'm right. You felt the same way. You just can't embrace it. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that.
You never grow if you stay inside the circle of comfort. You have to get out and get out of that box, get out of that circle, and get out of your comfort zone.
There's nothing wrong with challenging the president of the United States. There's nothing more patriotic than challenging politicians.
Yep.
That's it, folks. Wait, is he playing the long game? What if he's playing the long game? He's losing. There is no game here. There's no game. That's the thing. Do you really think that Donald Trump wanted to be impeached? Do you think Donald Trump wanted 5 different cases going against him? Do you think Donald Trump wanted to hang out with Nazis and sworn anti-Semites? Do you think Donald Trump, no, he doesn't want any of this. If this is part of the plan, he sucks at the plan. He needs to stop planning. It's all part of the plan. There is no plan. There's no plan. The plan is to beat DeSantis into submission. It's not working. DeSantis hasn't even announced he's running, and he's at like 13%.
Yeah, Janet said, why have I seen commercials for DeSantis for president if he's not running?
That's a political action committee. It's completely different. They're counteracting the words. There are people those people are hedging their bets. Political action committees can run on their own. Now, if it doesn't say this message is endorsed by Ron DeSantis, then it's not his commercial. Just like the ones for Donald Trump going after DeSantis, none of them, I don't believe any of them say, this is Donald Trump and I endorse this message. These are PAC committees prepping. They're hedging bets. That's totally different. So you can't sit here. I can't do that out of both sides of my mouth. I can't say DeSantis isn't doing it and Donald Trump's doing it. The political action committees are doing it. The super PACs are doing this. Because you guys have seen these commercials. I don't watch Fox anymore. Very rarely. You can tell me, do they say at the end?
I haven't seen any.
Cindy Young says, I don't believe you are correct about Trump. I think he will, but we will see. See what? When? When? I'm just being honest. I'm just being honest with you because I care about you, and I'm probably the only Republican who will say it. Nobody else will say it. They don't have the balls to say it. They either support DeSantis because they're getting paid by DeSantis, or they support Trump because they're getting paid by Trump. I don't get paid by either, so I'll call balls and strikes. Ron DeSantis has given Florida to the Republicans, something that nobody has ever done to the way that he did it. And Donald Trump can take credit all he wants. Donald Trump tries to skew the numbers. Oh, well, more people voted for me than him. Yeah, well, that's because more people turn out for presidential elections than governor races. Give me a fucking break. Nobody fucking shows up for governor races unless it's on the presidential ticket. So don't give me that. Go back and look at all governor races that were with presidents. You're going to see the same amount of votes. Everyone votes down ticket. Give me a break. Ron DeSantis is popular in Florida. Period. All right. Yeah, DeSantis has not announced yet. He has not. And please watch the Trump commercials, because I don't believe he says this is endorsed by Donald J. Trump. I don't believe they are. And so you can't blame Trump. He's not running DeSantis ads. It's the PAC. And they run completely. They don't follow up with Donald Trump on those things. They can run anything they want to discredit. So a lot of people are trying to discredit DeSantis right now, and that's fine. And DeSantis, if you look at the ads that the PACs are running, it's not going after Donald Trump. It's just talking about Ron DeSantis' success. So there are interests who are looking out for both. And if Donald's going after him, well, then someone's going to run a counter ad to that don't, and just talk about his successes. Does that make sense? All right. Let's watch this one, and then I want to read to you what Tucker Carlson said that everyone melted down over.
I don't want to be a slave to Fox Nation, which I don't think that many people watch anyway.
So Tucker Carlson goes off on Fox Nation here. Now, I want to be really clear. I got a free subscription to Fox Nation, and I've never used it. Not once.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I got a free subscription. As a veteran, I get a free subscription. I didn't even use it. I logged in and I'm like, this sucks. The Fox Nation sucks. This is horrible. This is completely not interactive. Essentially, what they did is they took everyone that nobody cares about and they threw them on the channel. And it's a dumping ground for crap. And then once in a while, they would throw in somebody big, like Judge would come in, or Jesse would come in, or Tucker, and they would do a quick little spot. But there was no connectivity, right? There was no interaction. And the whole reason we want to be a part of Fox Nation, I would assume, is to interact with the hosts and have live chat groups and be able to go and look at catalogs of different clips. It was horrible. I hated it. So for them to sit here and say, hey, and for Tucker to say Fox Nation is shit, I love him for it. Once again, more love for, I mean, like, I have a love fest right now with Tucker Carlson. Here it is.
Because I'm like a representative of the American media now. Speaking to an exile in Romania and welcoming him back into the Brotherhood of Journalists.
Yeah, it would help us out if you wore a sweater, though, because we asked him not to wear a suit. Like, he was panicking about it, so you don't have to. Tucker's going to be looking casual. That's just how our show looks. Is that okay?
I mean, this is airing on the nighttime show, and I want it to look official. I don't want it to be like bro talk. And I, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but the majority of it, like if we go like 45 minutes, it's going to be for Fox Nation.
But nobody's going to watch it on Fox Nation. Nobody watches Fox Nation because the site sucks. So I'd really like to just dump the whole thing on YouTube. But anyway, that's just my view. I'm just frustrated with it's hard to use that site.
First of all, I want to let everyone know that you don't need to talk into the speaker of the iPhone. You don't need to do this. This is probably one of the worst things you can do. Set it on the table and have a conversation. The microphone for the iPhone, it has a range of like 35 feet. It's ridiculously good. It's one of the best recording devices. In fact, most people ask me, what do I need for a podcast? I'm like, you need an iPhone. And that's all you need. And just talk into the iPhone. It's that good. But this doesn't make your voice any clearer. In fact, what it does is reduces the volume because you're going to get breakup and you're going to get clipping because you're too close to the mic. It's like when I go ahead and do this. Do you guys hear the fragmentation in the voice? You don't need to do that. Just sit back and talk. Now, this mic, I have to get close because it's designed to do that, to make everything around me shh. This is not. So little feedback to all you who are going, "Hey, Bob, I can't hear you. No, just set it down.
Yeah, the dude from Vivid heard you very clearly when I was out of the office.
Yeah, she's 25 feet away, and he heard me clearly.
Well, he heard your show. You were
I was cutting the show.
You were editing your show, and he heard him say it, and he's like, "Wait a sec, did he call me a fascist?" I was like, No.
That was my show tonight. That was my show tonight. All right, here we go.
Yeah, press play.
No, I'm reading a comment.
Oh.
Benny Johnson and Tim Pool said this does not look like it's not legit if you watch Tucker's mouth movements in this video. I don't think so.
I don't know why they're not fixing it. It's driving me insane. And they're like making like Lifetime movies, but they don't work on the infrastructure of the site. Like what? It's crazy, and it drives me crazy because it's like we're doing all this extra work and no one can find it. It's unbelievable, actually. I don't know who runs that site,
We're
but
going to play a sizable chunk on the show tomorrow night. That's the plan. And then what it's going to do is drive a lot of people to watch this on Fox Nation. It's going to be a great help to what we're doing over there on TV today.
I know, but we're doing our part. We're like working like animals to produce all this content, and the people in charge of it, whoever that guy's, whatever his name is, like they're ignoring the fact that the site doesn't work. And I think it's like a betrayal of our efforts. That's how I
feel. So I really watched this video because, any one of my viewers that say, here, I completely disagree with Benny Johnson and Tim Pool on this. And anytime they want to come on my show and wax intellect of why they think this is, I'm watching this on a 32-inch screen, and this is a 8K. The iMac?
I don't know.
The resolution on this is better than any TV that you possess, and I'm watching, and it's completely in sync with his mouth. And who cares? This just makes Tucker look good. So he doesn't like Fox Nation. Who gives a shit? Fox Nation sucks. I agree with him. It makes me like him better. This is not deep fake shit. Because if there's deep fake shit, you know what he would say? They would throw in a couple N-bombs. And they, would walk by and say, "Oh, look at the ass on her," right? Do stuff like that. So I'll challenge both of those guys. Here's the thing. Here's the video, are the comments that he made. And I wanted to take a second and read them to you because I think it's important. These are the ones that really, this is the text that they said was really bad. And I want to read this in context. And the whole text is labeled, "It's not how white men fight." Now let me explain something. My son and I have not had this conversation. But when my son and I do have this conversation, he's getting to the age where there's going to be bullies and people are going to start picking on him in middle school. I'm going to pull him aside. We're going to have this conversation. Just like when you go up to bat for baseball, you're going to be scared. Just like the first time you got on a bike, you're going to be scared. Just the first time you talk to a girl, you're going to be scared. And just like the first time you drive a car, you get married, or you have sex, you're going to be scared. And fear is a part of life. And when you get into your first fight, you're going to be scared. And you're not going to do very well. But let me tell you, there is going to come a point in a conversation with somebody that words are no longer necessary. And I'm going to tell you right now, before that happens and it turns into a physical altercation, you will rear back as hard as you can and smash that person's nose with your fist as hard as you can. Because in a situation, knowing when a fight is inevitable is crucial. And the second point is, once you find out that fight is crucial, you better realize that talk is over and it's time to get down to business. It's time to punch the clock. And when you punch the clock, you don't want to be the person who hits second. Now, I know people say, "Oh, don't hit first." Fuck that. It's a fight. And I don't care. You hit. When you know that this guy is going to tear you up and you have no other choice, the moment that person gives you a poke or bumps into you, you strike. Period, plain and simple. And the second thing that I'm going to say, is you never do 2-on-1, 3-on-1, 4-on-1, 5-on-1. It's 1-on-1. Your buddy's getting his ass kicked, you stand back. And you let him get his ass kicked. And when he's had enough, you can come in and say, put a hand up. He's had enough. That's different. But you stay out of it. And if you're getting your ass kicked, you don't pull a weapon and you don't go cheap. Someone pulls out a knife, you run. Someone pulls out a gun, you run. But you never do 2-on-1. You never jump anybody. You don't act like a coward. You take your hits. You start something, you finish it. And I will tell you, growing up in the barrio, growing up in the east side of Ventura, going to a gang-infested high school with skinheads on one side, with Crips on the other, with the Ventura Avenue gangsters on the other, and the amount of violence that was at my school, I will tell you most assuredly that that's a conversation that most white dads have with their white kids. That's not racist. It's just a code. Someone has a chain, you can have a chain. Someone breaks out a bat, you break out a bat. They break out a knife, you get a knife. They get a gun, you get a gun. It's equal, but you don't ever jump people, period. You don't ever gangbang people. That is not acceptable. And if you want to say that that's just dads talking to dads, because I will tell you, growing up in the area that I just did, that's not a conversation that all dads have with their kids. Because I will tell you, there is a mob mentality in minority cultures, especially with gangs, that it's bred in the gangs itself, where you get jumped in, where 10 guys beat the living fuck out of you in order to have gang initiation. You set the mentality that mob mentality of fighting is okay. It's a different culture. And it doesn't mean that they're less or inferior. It just, there are actual truths that if you walk into a barrio, that you fight one, you fight all. And you have to have that mentality to survive in these areas, because unfortunately, it's a life or death situation. So I'm not going to condemn people who do that. I'm just going to tell you what my dad told me. And he told me that emphatically, and I've always learned that. So if you want to say it's a dad to son thing, that's fine. But for Tucker Carlson to say the following, I don't have a problem with what he said. I'm listening to what he learned in the process. And instead of people being like, wow, Tucker was extremely honest, he was extremely vulnerable, and he kind of brought it around to the end. So I want you to listen to this. A couple of weeks ago, I was watching a video of people fighting on the street in Washington. Now, he's watching a fight like we've all seen, where you'll see a guy get jumped or beat up, or a girl get her hair pulled and smashed into a glass. We've all seen these videos. Or the old guy that's, gets smacked by the teeth. Smack me! Smack me! And I made that video of it where the guy gets smacked by the teeth. That's right. So he's just watching a video, right? He's alone with his thoughts. He's just pontificating, transcending the depths of contemplation. And he says, a group of Trump guys surrounded an Antifa kid and started pounding the living shit out of him. It was 3 against 1 at least. Jumping a guy like that is dishonorable, obviously. It's not how white men fight. I'm sorry. How is that racist? But hold on. Yet suddenly I found myself rooting for the mob against the man, hoping they would hit him harder, kill him. I really wanted them to hurt the kid. I could taste it. Then somewhere deep in my brain, okay, so now he has said the worst. He has exposed, he has laid down his darkest secret, and may have been a bit racial, right? I mean, I'm not saying that's not racial. Of course it's racial. He said white. I don't think it's racist. I think it's definitely a stereotype and prejudice. But I am too. I just said it too. Everyone's, listen, we're not going to pretend that we haven't heard the term. You fight one bean, you fight the whole burrito. Okay, come on. Can we just fucking be honest? I grew up on the streets. You're going to lie?
I've actually never heard that.
That's it. There's another one, and that's really bad. I'm not going to say that, but yeah, that's racist shit. That's horrible, but that's what we grew up with. You know what? I can walk down any fucking barrio in at least California, and I won't be touched. Because I'm not stupid. It's not my area. I'm not going to show disrespect. I know how to survive in those areas because I grew up in those areas. And I'm not going to walk around like I'm shit hot. And I'm not going to flex in that area. Are you stupid? I'll die. This isn't an affront to Mexican or black people or white people, but everybody's raised with different morality. Everyone's raised with different things. But if you're going to sit here and say that gangs, when they jump people in 10-1, that all of a sudden the gang culture isn't about jumping a guy, you get jumped all the time in gangs. Every single fight that I was involved in with gang elements, there was always more than one. It was always 2-on-1, 3-on-1. It was never 1-on-1. Let's be smart about this. I mean, we can sit here and pretend it's not true, but it is true. He finishes off and says, then somewhere deep in my brain, now he's going to walk it back, right? He's exposed himself, now he's going to walk it back. An alarm went off. This isn't good for me. I'm becoming something I don't want to be. The Antifa creep is a human being. Much as I despise what he says and does, much as I'm sure I would hate him personally if I knew him, I shouldn't gloat over his suffering. I should be bothered by it. I should remember that somewhere somebody probably loves this kid and would be crushed if he was killed. If I don't care about those things, if I reduce people to their politics, how am I better than he is?
It's very profound.
Why is that not on a bumper sticker? I understand. Can we not admit it? Are we going to sit here and everybody be honest that you watch a video of a black person or a group of black people robbing a Burlington coat factory and going in and stealing coats? We all saw this video. It was out last week. They walked in, they grabbed a bunch, and a guy got one of the girls and started. Okay. Tell me honestly, and don't lie. Tell me the first thing you look at is what their skin color is. And then when they're black, you don't say, well, of course, they're black. You gonna lie? I'll admit it. Every single one of us have bias. And we have confirmation bias. It's a true thing. It's real. The question is, do you think that all black people are bad? Well, of course you don't. I hope you don't, because if you do, you're an asshole. Do you think all Mexicans are bad? Well, then if you do, you're an asshole. Do you think all white people bad? If you do, you're an asshole. But we all look at things and our confirmation bias comes through. But when you watch a video, when it's a bunch of white people going in and ripping off an Apple store, do you have the same feelings? And the feeling is you may not look at their skin color, or you do and you glance over it, but you don't make excuses and you say, hey, theft is wrong. Well, then you're getting to the same point. But we all have our confirmation biases. We have a right to explore those feelings in our own personal chamber of thought. And if Tucker Carlson wants to have that conversation by himself, then damn it, he absolutely should. And the fact that he openly said it, just as honest as I'm being, and then tells you why and how he got to a different outcome, then son of a bitch, you've got to commend him for that. Because what are you upset about? Are you upset that he didn't want to see someone beat and pummeled to death? Or are you upset that a Republican actually has some fucking feelings? Which ones are you more upset by? Because there's only two choices. You're upset that Tucker did not want to see that person die and learn nothing from it, or you're upset that a Republican actually goes against what you think about them. Now who's biased? Does that make sense, Livy?
Yes. Yes, it does.
The last video we're going to watch. In the Navy. Okay. I'm doing a show on this tomorrow. But
I'm sure Leroy will have some stuff to say about this.
Like the Navy didn't, like we needed any help being known as the Gavy. It doesn't help. And I don't know what the Navy's doing. I'm not proud of it. I think it's stupid. And the Navy has now employed a drag queen to boost its recruitment goal and reach a younger audience. This is Joshua Kelly. He has performed on many ships in the Navy as a drag queen underway. And trust me, after 3 months underway, that guy looks like a fucking perfect 10. Just letting you know. And the military is having a trouble recruiting. And my question is, what are you recruiting and why? And what are you looking for? Because the demographic of the United States Navy is made up of a very succinct group of people, predominantly African Americans, number one. And that is just a shame and just true. But most African Americans will tell you that they join the military not necessarily out of a lack of pride and care for the United States, but out of a lack of options. And recruiters predominantly prey on African American communities because they know this. The second is that it has a very large Hispanic community. And the next is it has a lot of conservative, middle state, red state, patriotic, redneck Americans. I joined the Navy. And I joined the Navy, one is because I was going to probably burn. Matt, you've got static.
It's probably in your end, JD.
JD says static, yes. Why do I have static?
I don't know. Everyone's saying you got static and it's not being fixed. They say going out, it's not fixing it.
Okay, hold on.
We can't refresh the equipment. If we refresh the equipment, it's going to end the...
No, it's not. Hold on, everyone. Give me 30 seconds. I don't know why it's doing that.
I don't know.
Test 1, 2, 3. Test. Let me know, everybody. Does that clear up? One, two, three.
Can y'all hear us?
Good to go. All right. So now that's probably that video. So I had to stop it because I took the audio out. So anyway, when we go ahead and look at that and we listen to that, it comes down to this. The communities that are inside the Navy, they're not going to appreciate it. And there's a reason why the military is a selective service, is that they're the only job on the planet where discrimination is acceptable. They have racial quotas. They have quotas on what type of education people have, what they look for in a recruiting sense. And the reason why they do that is because they accept the best of the best that they can. Now, I have a belief, and this is what I think, is I believe, Liv, that they are trying to discredit the military. And I think they're trying to change the military from within, like they do our college campuses, like they do our high schools, and how they've indoctrinated Hollywood. And they realize that the one largest bed of creating minority conservatives and white conservatives is the military. And if you can, what?
That's a thought.
And if you can somehow change the military's mentality around transgender people, the LGBTQ community, and anything else that you want to push through that can change them when they're impressionable and young, which most assuredly is the military, that when they come out, they will have a better chance of no longer being Republican, no longer being conservative, and be at least moderate to the leftist ideology.
Well, if the military is so conservative, how are they letting this happen? Who's running these ads?
Well, that's the problem, is that you've appointed generals who are softer. You look at Miley. You look at the Surgeon General. You look at, I mean, just take a look at Levine. I mean, here. I don't even know if you've ever seen her.
Probably not, because I don't even know the name.
Well, this is the Secretary of Health. And here's the Secretary of Health in military uniform. Hold on. Here, I'll click on the picture so you can see it. So there's the Secretary of Health. That's Rachel Levine. You want me to blow it up so you can really see it?
Mm-hmm.
What do you notice about that picture?
Looks like a man.
That's because it is. That's Rachel Levine. Military and a man. And on Joe Biden's staff.
Oh, peachy.
And when I say Department of Health, that is a very prominent position that has influence in the military, retired, VA, and everything else. And now if we go back to the commercials that we saw in the military, remember the girl who said, you know, I'm Marie Ocelot Joseph and
yeah, my two moms.
My two moms. And, you know, this is a pussification of the military.
You know, call me, I don't know. I would really like the military that defends our country and defends our freedom to not be a bunch of pussies. And I would rather they go out with the guns and they kill the people that need to be killed as opposed to throwing insults at them. I mean,
well, I want to be clear is that I know some homosexuals that are pretty badass in my service, and I don't have a problem with that.
I don't have a problem
Okay.
with that either. I have a problem with the whole drag queen thing. It sounds like they're trying to turn. If they're recruiting with drag queens, then that means they're trying to get that type of atmosphere in the military.
Right. That's exactly what it is. But it's also, listen, here's what it comes down to is people don't want to join the military. And this new generation it's the same reason why Bud Light went ahead and did the Dylan Mulvaney is because they know that their consumer is Gen Z and the millennial and the Gen Xers are going to decline over the next 20 years to a point of the Gen Z population is going to be the new consumer. So same thing when you're recruiting. Well, I won't join the military because they're homophobic. Well, not if we have transgender commercials. They're not. So they're trying to start, advo to the generation, which is going to be prominent. So they're starting now.
Yeah, I don't have a problem. If you are trans or gay or lesbian, whatever, more power to you. Just when you're in the military and you've got a job, just do your job.
Well, here's
Don't
the thing.
flaunt it.
I completely disagree. I think transgender shouldn't be in the military in any way, shape, or form. And it has nothing to do with transgenders. And it has nothing, like the greatest thing that I can tell you is when we were watching West Wing the other night, and Fitz Wallace came in. He's a black gentleman. He's an admiral, and he's on the Joint Chiefs. They're trying to discuss about gays in the military and the don't ask, don't tell policy. And he walks in and he goes, there's two officers, and they're discussing it with the chief of staff and the administration of the president, Bartlett. And he walks in and he looks at the two officers and he goes, "Hey, how are you?" He's good. And he's like, "Great." He's like, "So what do you think about gays in the military?" And they don't answer, and they give him a standard thing. He's like, "Great. I didn't ask you that. I asked you what you thought." And he says, do you think they should be in the military?" He says, "In order to run a effective service, I believe that the conduit of structure in the Uniform Code of Military Justice and the traditions ultimately would say that having gays in the military is counterproductive to have a cohesive unit." And Fitz Wallace is like, "Yep, I 100% agree with you. I agree with you 100%. However, 1960, and here he is an admiral, black admiral. He's like, they were saying the same thing about me and that I couldn't be in." And once again, West Wing always makes a good point, but doesn't necessarily bring it home, is that being black isn't a choice. Now, don't give me any of that shit that being gay is a choice. Okay. Fuck you. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I've known thousands of gay and lesbian people, and if they're honest, most of them will tell you that yes, they had a feeling at a young age, but ultimately it was a decision. If it was, then nobody would ever backpedal from being gay or lesbian. And people do it all the time. They're gay and lesbian when they're younger, and then they hit 50 and all of a sudden they find people attractive. This is not true. Most people will tell you who are gay or lesbian that they tried straight first and just didn't like it, and then they went lesbian. And then some people become gay later in life. Let's look at Caitlyn Jenner, Bruce Jenner. Let's be honest here. Let's not lie to each other. Let's not say that people are genetically disposed to be homosexual, okay? Because that's not the way it works. So let's just be honest. Now, is it both? Probably. There's probably people who have genetic disposition to be homosexual. That's fine. Or may have an attraction. But if you go down to Freud and you go down to talk nocturnal emissions and you go down to having homosexual dreams and all this, which everyone has, you can break this down that it's a choice. And there was a point where somebody said, you know what, I'm going to be gay and I'm going to try it. And then I tried it and I either liked it or I didn't. So don't sit here and tell me that, oh, I'm just gay. That's not the way it works. Because we wouldn't be seeing these little children wanting to get transformation surgery at 5 years old if their mom and dad wasn't talking about it. Every single mom and dad who has had a child that says, I'm now a woman or I'm a boy or I'm a girl, always has a parent who is supportive of the endeavor and always has talked about it. Wrong, right?
Right.
Okay. Let's be honest. Just like my daughter felt she could come to me and say that she was exploring interest in little girls and it was a phase, and walked into the room tonight and said, Dad, it was a phase. I said, I know it was a phase. And that's why I didn't do anything. I didn't send you to the convent.
The best words were, you were right.
Yeah.
And you were right.
And I didn't take her to a convent. I didn't get holy water and I didn't go, oh my God, no rainbows in the house. I just said, hey, if you're a lesbian, you'll have plenty of time to figure that out. And now it's not the time. Just like I don't want to know if you're a heterosexual. So how about we stop talking about this and how about we talk about your play? And she's like, okay, but I never shunned her. I just let her make up her own mind. And if she was lesbian, I'd be more proud of her than ever. And I'd walk her down the aisle. I don't care. But what you're not going to do is say that kids come to you and go, I'm dad, I'm a she. And if they do, you know what you say? You don't say, okay, so let's go get some chemical blockers. Let's go ahead and rechange all your wardrobe. Let's change your name legally. No, you don't do that. You know what you say? You're not. And then if they come to you the next year and go, Mom, Dad, I'm a boy. You say, you're not. And then at 18, 16 years old, they're like, Mom and Dad, I'm a boy. I say, let's sit down and have a real conversation. Because now we've seen something that is no longer a trend, but it's part of who you've decided to be. It is now a part of your makeup. And now we need to have a discussion on how we can support you through this.
Yeah, I mean, Ethan, when he was 8 or 7, he wanted a doll. And he asked us to buy him a doll because he wanted to be able to play with his older sister and her friends. So we got him a boy baby doll. And he played with that thing for about 3 months, and then that was that. I mean, I'm not going to support, if one of them comes to me and says, if Ethan comes to me tomorrow and says, I've decided I want to become a girl like Hayden, I'm not going to support it because that's going to change the next day. The kids these days, they can't make up their minds about anything, and their interests change in the next couple of weeks, and they're not interested in what they wanted a couple weeks ago. So they're going through puberty and they've got enough crap to figure out. They shouldn't have to decide all that at that point. I mean, frick, they can't even figure out what they want to do when they get older.
Who the fuck is Rex Harrington?
I don't know.
Somebody just said I look like Rex Harrington.
I don't know who that is.
He's a male dancer. I look like a male dancer. What the? Come on. Melanie said I look like Rex Harrington. I don't look like Rex. Do I look? No.
No, I gotta
hold
find
on.
A picture
Here it is, right here. I do not look like him. He looks like Brendan Fraser. I don't look like this guy, do I?
Picture's got to come up on my screen.
What the? No, I don't look like Rex Harrington. Really?
No.
He looks like a douche. Sorry.
He looks like Adam Lambert.
He looks like Brendan Fraser.
No. Yeah, I can see the mix between a love child between Brendan Fraser and Adam Lambert.
It's impossible. Guys
no,
can't have babies. Like him.
Nope.
All right. Okay. Oh, Melanie says
Somebody
no.
Said Ben Roethlisberger again.
Dude, I don't look like Ben. See, I don't think Ben Roethlisberger's a handsome guy, and that hurts me. I like when people say like Graham Allen. That makes me feel good. Let me see Ben Roethlisberger. It's the chubby cheeks, man. That's not fair. It's nothing you can do. You can work out every day for the rest of your life and you will always have chubby cheeks. It's just the way it is.
Who was the chick on the Biggest Loser?
I don't know.
Somebody told me I looked like her one time and I was like,
This isn't about you. This is about me. What the hell, Olivia? Why is it always going to be about you? I guess I do look like Ben Roethlisberger. Look at that.
a little bit. I mean, I can see similarities, but it's not like yours doppelganger or anything.
Yeah, a little
but
bit.
I can see a little bit.
He's a good-looking guy. I just guess I've seen some dorky pictures of him. When he has his beard on, yeah, I can see it. I can see it. Yeah, like this is what pisses me off is when I see pictures like this. I'm like, dude, screw you people. Like when I see this, I'm like, dude, no. I do not look like that guy. I'm sorry. That he looks like somebody who I would purposely like put a bag and a pork chop in his head.
No.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I would put a pork chop around his neck to have the dog play with him. But I guess later in life when he's, a little better shape, I don't know. Whatever. Fine. So I'm Ben Roethlisberger. Thanks, guys. Anyway, my chubby cheeks. I can't. Yeah, there's nothing I can do, folks.
Rex Harrison. Somebody said Rex. It's supposed to be Rex Harrison.
Rex.
From the Ghost and Miss Murs from the 40s.
Rex. Oh, Rex Harrison. The ghost and Mrs. Muir.
Yeah.
That I know.
That's it.
Holy shit. I don't look. What? Are you kidding me? I remember that movie. That's not. How do I look like this guy?
Just put up the picture.
Of course I put up the picture. It's right there.
Well, I got the 10-second delay, so I can't see it yet.
Listen, I think you.
No, not even close.
You beautiful older women are just trying to. You just have a crush on Rex Harrison, and you're just trying to say I don't look like that guy.
No, not at all.
That looks like my grandpa. It does look like Kurt, but no, that doesn't look like me.
No, I don't see it at all. They said with the beard. Get a picture of him with the beard.
Rex Harrison
with the beard.
He didn't have a beard. 1940s guys didn't have beards. You were a bum. I don't think they're talking about Roethlisberger with a beard.
No.
Paul says, Matt, you're a very sexy man. Thanks, Paul.
He does have a beard in it. And
what? Oh, was this when he was in? Wasn't he Robin Hood? Rex Harrison.
I don't know. The Ghost and Miss.
I know the Ghost and Mrs. Muir. I've seen the movie.
It's on one of the cover pictures. They said go to his pictures from the show.
All right, I'm gonna do this quickly. Rex Harrison with a beard. Dude, come on, man.
Since we're talking about this.
Oh my God, why is it always about you? Why does it always have to be about you?
Do you even know what I was going to say?
It has to do with something about you.
No, I was going to say everyone should send in messages about who they think you look like.
I don't have a mustache like that. I don't have. Wow.
I want to see.
Where are we going to go? Why don't we going to? There we go. We're going to do it. I'm close.
No.
There we go. Hello, darling. Hello, Miss Moffat. Would you like to go ahead and eat my crumpet? No, I don't look like that guy at all.
No.
I get Graham Allen a lot.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, he's an okay guy.
He's a good looking man.
Yeah, I get Graham Allen a lot.
I think a lot has the tattoos is a big one.
Well, yeah, and haircut, short hair and beard, and I get him a lot. He takes care of himself. He's a big kid. Yeah, so I get that a lot, especially side profile. I can see that.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. Well, that's good. Yeah, that's fine. It's better than Ben Roethlisberger. Al from Tool Time. Shut up, Amy.
No.
You just read that. No, he read that lady's comment. This lady, shit, Amy, you suck. This lady came on the site and she's like, well, you look like somebody from
That's right.
Tool Time. And Amy, you think, see, you're quick, Amy. That's why I like you.
That's funny.
Let's see. You don't look like him at all. I know I don't. Matt, curl your stash. I just did. Hello, darling. I need some wax. I can do it right. Go, hello.
Please don't. Put it back normal.
All right. Anything else? Grizzly Adams. What the shit? Is that Debbie? Of course it's Debbie. Hold on, let me see. Grizzly Adams. Well, wasn't he a linebacker?
Oh, I don't know.
I mean, that's a mountain man.
Stone Cold Steve Austin?
What the shit, people? No, I don't look like Grizzly Adams. Grizzly Adams, though, he was a manly man. His teeth were bigger than my fingers. I mean, look at this guy. He's just a man. Look at his teeth. Just a man. Look, he's a man. Grizzly Adams. Absolutely. All right. Anyone else? Who else? You said Stone Cold Steve Austin?
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
All right, we're going to go after this. I have so much to do tomorrow.
I know. We've both been down all week.
Dude, Stone Cold's, dude, he's a big man.
Grizzly Adams was hot.
Dude, Stone Cold.
Tom Selleck.
Oh, now I'm falling in love with you. Whoever said that, you're my favorite fan.
It was a guy.
Damn it.
Danny Mayer.
I don't look like Tom Selleck.
No, you don't look like Stone Cold. I don't see it.
I don't see Stone Cold.
No.
But dude, I love Magnum PI and I love High Road to China.
Somebody said you look like Matt Spear.
That's funny. That's funny. No, I don't look like Tom Selleck. Tom Selleck is too freaking handsome. He was almost Indiana Jones for a reason.
He passed up. He regrets it.
He should regret it. It would have been a great career for him because he was so amazing in A High Road to China. One of my favorite actors. Yeah, I don't look like Tom Selleck. I wish I looked like Tom Selleck. I don't know. We have the same nose. He has the same puffy cheeks as I do. His dimples are much more profound. This isn't a dimple. This is my jawbone removed from my accident. So that's not Arturo.
No, I don't really see it.
I don't see it either. Well, I would say there's similarities, bushy eyebrows, but his eyebrows are up like this.
No, I don't see it.
Okay. I didn't say I look like him. I just said we have a very similar nose. That's it. That's all. All right. Now, Olivia. Let's do Olivia.
Okay.
Everybody's like, what are we doing here?
I actually got to find a good picture of me.
Oh, God, it's so hard. I wonder what we'll do. Do you just say dumb stuff just to say it?
Yeah.
So funny. All right. So we're trying to find Olivia's. Oh, I can't find a good picture of you. There's none in here.
Few and far between.
There's none. Ugh.
Sean Connery.
Sean Connery.
The most handsome man to look better.
All right, some things in here don't react well with bullets.
Sexy.
You send one of his to the hospital, you send one of his to the morgue. That's the Chicago way.
Mm-hmm.
Your best. Losers always talk about that best. Winners go home and fuck the prom queen. Carla was the prom queen. Right.
I love how you make, what's his butt? It's his high voice.
The hell are you talking about, woman?
Well, in that movie, you're doing the other, I just can't remember the actor.
Nicolas Cage?
Yeah.
Yeah. Your best. Losers always talk about the best. Winners go home and fuck the prom queen. Carla was the prom queen. Right. All right, Olivia, picture. Here we go. Here's a cute picture.
Oh, I know. I'll send you the one you should use.
Sorry, send it to me right now. Hurry up. You should have been doing that the whole time you were talking.
Okay, I'm hurrying.
Hold on. I gotta show you guys who Olivia looks like. Hurry up. We gotta go. What time is it? Oh my God. It's late. Hurry up. Come on. You knew we were gonna do this anyway. You should have it. Oh, Kyung, don't call me Matt Spears. I'm not plural. Britney Spears fucked up my life. They didn't learn how to spell my name and they added an S to it.
And I actually really like the name Brittany for a little girl, but nope, not gonna do that.
No, that would have.
I just texted it to you.
Kit me, baby. What? I don't like this picture.
Oh, okay.
Your hair's too big in this picture. Your hair doesn't look like this.
Okay. Well,
I hate this picture. Why do you always use this picture?
because I think I look good in that picture.
You always look good in any picture, but this one doesn't really represent. No, that doesn't represent you. You don't look like that.
Okay. Hang on.
Why don't you let me pick the picture?
I got one.
I mean, I'm not saying you don't look beautiful. Like, this is more you. Like, this is you. This is everyday you right here. This is you.
There.
This is you in your Wonder Woman shirt. This is how beautiful you are. This is you. That's what you look like. Like this right here. Oh, man, this is me without my full beard. Look at that.
Oh, that was when we went to.
That's when I didn't have. That's when I wasn't on testosterone and I got so thin I became sick looking.
I just sent you another one.
Guys, I was like 203 pounds in that picture. I'm 225 now, but I had no muscle on my body. I was a skeleton. I mean, I'm talking skeleton.
Look at how young Ethan was.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's what you look like. You look good now. All right, let me see what picture you sent.
Ben Affleck for you.
Really?
Yeah, somebody said.
Kirstie
Alley and Brooke Shields blended together.
Ooh, that's pretty good. That's a hot looking woman. See, that's what she looks like. That's Olivia. That's what Olivia looks like. Every day. Beautiful Latin hips. Holy shit. Good figure.
I love how you put the hips up first.
That's what you look like. And honestly, if you knew, this is what
That's what it was. Jillian Michaels. I've been called that.
Jillian Michaels from X-Files?
Biggest Loser.
Oh, I don't think you'll like Jillian Michaels. No, she's too hard. She's not soft at all. No, I don't. Hold on. Let me find your twin. Where is she at? And folks, I sleep with her, so I know. I know what she looks like. And where is it?
That's the day I went for my job interview.
I remember that. This is why I married Olivia. If you wanted to know, I can find the picture. Ignore Brad Pitt. That's why I married Liv. Right there. Because she looks like Sandra Bullock. So that's why. Yeah, a lot like Sandra Bullock. Who else?
I don't see it, but
everyone else does. Everybody says you look like Sandra Bullock that we know. Ben Affleck is my final answer with facial hair. Hold on.
They can't see my face, is apparently what.
Oh, shit.
What?
Well, I put it in the wrong spot. Sorry. Everybody's watching it. Here. Come on. There you go. There's Olivia. Oh, I did it again. It's so...
I'm getting Jillian Michaels a lot.
She doesn't look like Jillian Michaels, y'all. Jillian Michaels too hard. There she is. There's Liv. That's Olivia. And yeah, when she puts her hair up too, I mean, you got to get some other shots, but she looks very much like Sandra Bullock in a lot of ways. When she was younger, oh my God, forget about it. This is the one where she looks a lot like her. Here you go. Yeah, I mean, it's the nose, it's the smile with teeth, the whole works. And Sandra Bullock doesn't show her teeth. She actually is insecure about her teeth.
Really?
She doesn't smile. If you can find a picture with her teeth, I will be shocked. Well, this is why. Here's a picture with her teeth. She doesn't have a great smile. She looks better with just her mouth closed, but she takes issue with her teeth. She doesn't show a lot of teeth in her smiles. Do a search. You'll find very few. Now, when she's laughing, oh, she's gorgeous. She's absolutely gorgeous. But she doesn't do a fake smile really well. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What are you looking at?
I was doing a young picture of me.
All right, well, hurry up. Because I want to pop smoke.
Yeah.
There it is, folks. Olivia Sandra Bullock. Did you send it to me?
I did. I just texted.
All right, so here it is. This is the last one. Yeah, see, folks, this is why. Look. There's Olivia when we got married. She hasn't aged a day. She has not aged a freaking day. But you can see how she looks just like Sandra Bullock. That's why I married her. She just, swear to God, she looked just like the one with my brother outside of Black Eyed Pea, where he's going like this.
Yep.
That's the one where you look like Sandra Bullock the most. Anyway, so that's why, yep, she hasn't aged. She's the Dick Clark of women. It's pathetic. Every time I want to listen to American Bandstand, I just go, hey, honey, talk. All right, everybody. That's the Don't Unfriend Me show. I appreciate everybody. Ooh, Amy got the FJB coffee.
Ooh, how was
Good.
it?
It was good. It was good. All right, guys, do me a favor, guys and girls. If you haven't been over to the Dumb Show, go to the Dumb Show. We have some cool new shirts and some hats and everything else over there. Please go take a look. I'll be working on the site tomorrow and getting some new things on there. So go stop on by. We will be Friday night. It's Red Friday. We'll have Leroy, Amy, myself, and Olivia here. I'll have a recorded show for you in the morning. Thanks, everybody, for watching. Thanks for nobody for calling in. You guys got to start calling in.
Yes.
Love everybody. Have a good evening. We will see you fairly well tomorrow. And thanks for being on the show. Good night, everybody.
Night, y'all.
I'm David Boreanaz with the Cast of SEAL team, and we have an important message for returning vets. We want you to know if you're struggling to cope, there's help and it's just a phone call away.
The Veterans Crisis Line is staffed with experienced professionals who know your struggles.
There's no greater sacrifice in service to our country. We're able to enjoy our freedoms because of it.
Your service is important. You are important.
For vets and their families, the Veterans Crisis Line is here to help 24 hours a day. Please call